Can the Bucs go back-to-back? Do they have the depth to repeat? Which players will break through and step up? The answers lie ahead. The 2003 Buccaneers preseason is right now. Live from Pro Player Stadium in Miami, the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the Miami Dolphins. Hi, and welcome to the game along with Ron Jaworski. I'm Chris Myers, and thanks for being with us. Well, the Super Bowl champs have a long road back, Ron, so it's about repeating. Here's where the baby steps begin. What does John Gruden and this Bucs team have to do, starting with tonight's game, to work their way back to the big game?
Well, the Bucs must maintain the intensity they showed late last season into the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. And we all know John Gruden. When you think of intensity, you think of John Gruden. He will approach every game, even the preseason's game, with the ultimate passion, and his team seems to always respond.
We'll be watching a lot of position battles, as will John Gruden. How about at running back, where another Arizona ex has come to Tampa to help things out?
Yeah, Thomas Jones. He's a guy that you have to love. He has the speed, the quickness, the agility to give the big play as part of the Bucs offense. He's been somewhat of a disappointment thus far in his NFL career, but he was a 7th pick in the NFL draft 3 years ago. He has potential to be explosive.
And the #1 defense in the NFL, a minor change or two. What about new starter Dwayne Rudd? Can he hold on to that position at linebacker?
Well, I think that's going to be questionable right now. We've had a chance to talk to the coaches. Dwayne Rudd has not assimilated the Bucs defensive system as quick as everyone would like. Yes, he's an outstanding athlete, but you must play with great discipline in this defense. Nate Webster has had an outstanding camp. No question, he's a guy that has the ability to start. And, of course, Ryan Neese has played well in the exhibition season as well. So, clearly, John Gruden will put the best 3 linebackers out there to start the season.
All right, don't think preseasons don't mean anything. The last 5 Super Bowl champs have had winning records in the preseason, and that includes the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're ready for the kickoff of the game in just a moment. Don't go away.
News Channel 8, your official station of the Buccaneers, presents the world champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Miami Dolphins. Tonight's game is brought to you by your friendly Florida Dodge dealers, official vehicles of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. By Chevrolet, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last, will be there. And by your Chrysler Jeep dealers, official vehicles of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
At Wendy's, we've just taken grilled chicken to perfection.
Number 2 for the Miami Dolphins. It is their opener, and they will not have their starting quarterback as Jay Fiedler is out. It'll be Brian Griese starting for Miami, but the Bucs have won the coin toss. And so John Gruden's team has elected to receive. Brad Johnson expected to play about 10 or 12 series.
Yeah, Brad Johnson, 10 or 12 plays will be in there. If it's a good drive to open the game, I'm sure Brad will go to the sideline. He wants to break out a little sweat, get a little feel for the speed of the game. But Brad Johnson has nothing to prove. He certainly proved last year that he is capable of leading a team to a Super Bowl championship. Wow, Chris, that is an amazing thing to say. Here we open the preseason down here in Miami. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Super Bowl champions. Wow.
With the opening kickoff down around the goal line. This is Tim Wansley. Gets away and is brought down inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. And Terrell Freeman on the tackle.
Well, there's no question when you watch the special teams tonight, the kickoff, the kick returns, the punts, the punt return, the field goal protection, there will be a couple of players that will make the team because their ability to play on special teams.
And, of course, Brad Johnson entrenched as the starter. 22 touchdowns last year, just 6 interceptions, and led the NFC in passing. First Buccaneer quarterback to do that.
And I love that 6 interception number. That is really, really taking care of the football.
Michael Pittman, the only back, and he gets the ball, gets out across the 20-yard line. Brought down by Jason Taylor.
And you're looking at a healthy Michael Pittman. If he's healthy, he can ring up that number of 124 yards like he did in the Super Bowl rushing.
Let's take a look at the McDonald's starting lineup. And, of course, Keyshawn Johnson, Keenan McCardell, they're all in place. Mike Allstott, Michael Pittman. And the offensive line, something we'll be keeping an eye on because Jason Whittle acquired to help out at the guard spot. John Wade, the new starting center.
Replacing Jeff Christie, who was an all-pro player throughout most of his career. So John Wade has some big shoes to fill.
Second down, that's Dilger in motion. Brad's going to throw. And Allstott on the reception. Out up past the first down marker. And the defensive lineup for Miami. That's Wale Ogunwuye.
All right.
Yeah, well, and up front, and of course, Junior Seau, the addition from San Diego, the veteran, to the linebacker corps. Jamar Fletcher starting at corner for Patrick Surtain, who is coming off surgery but will be ready when the regular season starts. And Zach Thomas spearheads one of the top defenses in football.
And we'll keep an eye on Junior Seau, coming over from the San Diego Chargers, future Hall of Famer. We'll see how much he has left in the tank.
Johnson throwing downfield for McCardell, and it's incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bucs. Jason Taylor putting a little pressure on.
Yeah, the Bucs came with the play action, tried to move away from Jason Taylor, who led the National Football League in sacks a year ago. And you see Brad Johnson, man, he's a savvy leader. He's intelligent. He plays the game well. And mistake-free football wins championships. That's what you have in Brad Johnson. Boy, I just love Brad Johnson. It's nice to see that the Bucs rewarded him with a nice new contract for his play of a year ago.
And when he was out of the lineup last year for the brief time with injury, you really saw the offense of the Bucs miss a beat. Johnson going to give this time to Pittman over the left side. Larry Chester, part of that Miami Dolphin front four. Chester out of Temple, a 6-year veteran. Zach Thomas loving the idea of bringing a guy like Seau here. In fact, Ron, he had a poster as a child, how old Seau feels, of Junior Seau in his bedroom, over his bed growing up.
Two quality football players, that linebacker position, of course, in Zach Thomas and Junior Seau, who's out in the Dolphins nickel package. Zach Thomas does stay in. He's an outstanding cover linebacker.
On 3rd and 6, Johnson going to throw a little bit behind the receiver. There's a flag down in the backfield.
You're either going to get holding or roughing the quarterback. I'm not sure if Roman Oben was holding Jason Taylor or was a late hit on Brad Johnson, but we'll find out shortly from referee Bernie Kukar.
And it is holding. Pressure on Brad here.
You'll see Brad sit up in the pocket. He's trying to get the ball in that little delay underneath, but Roman Oben just had a tough time with Jason Taylor on that particular play. And of course, Jason Taylor causes a lot of problems for a lot of offensive tackles, and especially when you get in that 3rd and 7 to 8 situation where you have to throw the ball a little bit further down the field. Your O-line must hang on a little longer.
So the Bucs punting for the first time in this preseason. They did not have to punt the ball in Tokyo. 15-year veteran Tom Tupa, who's in a bit of a battle with Andy Groom, will watch that as the night progresses. And Charlie Rogers on the return. Brought down just over the 35-yard line of Miami. The crowd roared because it looked like they caught a face mask, but no flag down.
Yeah, he did not. Caught him on the shoulder pads and pulled him down, but Tom Tupa better kick the ball better than that.
Corey Smith on special teams, making the play, and the Dolphin offense with Brian Greasy will go against the top-ranked defense in the NFL from last year. Good to have you with us from Miami.
26 weeks of this. And
Welcome back. Dave watched out the Dolphins scoreless in the opening quarter against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and on the punt return, no penalty called, but it was close.
Yeah, Corey Smith, number 98, hustling downfield to cover that low line drive kick. And it looked to me like he may have had a little grasp of the face mask there, but not called by the officials.
So John Gruden watches his defense against Brian Greasy and the Miami Dolphin offense, and Greasy is going to throw on 1st down deep down the middle. Intended for Chambers. And it's incomplete. Excellent coverage. Brian Kelly out of USC, who had been battling a little bit of a turf toe during the week, getting the job done.
Yeah, Norv Turner comes out of the box looking for the big play against that Buck defense. He was looking to the post pattern originally and throws the ball underneath. And Brian Greasy, here's what you look about at Brian Greasy. Good feet in the pocket, good presence, outstanding play action passer. That's why Norv Turner went to the play action, first play of the game, but he must stay injury free.
2nd and 10 for Miami. Greasy's going to throw again. Has time and completes for Sam Simmons, who gets a 1st down up around the 50-yard line.
The key right there was the ability of Brian Greasy to stay in the pocket, let the play develop down the field. The Dolphins O-line did a nice job.
Our McDonald's starting lineup. You see Darius Thompson at receiver as Aronde Gadsden is injured. Randy McMichael at tight end. And there's the offensive line that the Dolphins hope will improve. And, of course, at quarterback, Jay Fiedler, because of back spasms, didn't practice the last few days. Thus, Brian Greasy, the starter here, and has thrown twice. This on 1st down to Ricky Williams. Crosses midfield and into Buccaneer territory.
Ricky Williams off an outstanding season a year ago, over 1,800 yards, 47 receptions, the Dolphins' second leading receiver, and he gave them big explosive plays, which normally people didn't expect to get from Ricky Williams. And take a look at this defense. Greg Spires, Warren Sapp, Anthony McFarland, Simeon Rice, quickness, penetration. Derek Brooks, what can you say? One of the best of all time. Rondé Barber, Brian Kelly, John Lynch, and Dwight Smith in the secondary. That may be one of the best defenses of all time.
Greasy throwing on second down, going to the right side, and completes to McMichael, and the ball's loose. And the Buccaneers have recovered. Dwight Smith had it initially, and it looked like Rudd followed up. And Dwight Smith will give the Buccaneers possession of the football.
Well, Monty Kiffin's defense, they love to attack the football and create turnovers. Greasy, no pressure in the pocket, lays it out in the flat, put the ball away. There are people coming to hit you.
We're scoreless in the opening quarter. Bucks and Dolphins. Brad Johnson gets another shot. We'll be back in just a moment.
Pizza Hut is...
Pick up a copy of the Tampa Tribune tomorrow morning for fanatical Buccaneers coverage. Get player news, features, or wrap-up of this game and the season ahead. The Tampa Tribune, the official newspaper of the Tampa Bay Bucks and their fans. As Ron Jaworski, Chris Myers here, J.P. Peterson down on the field, keeping an eye on things. The Bucks defense with the turnover gives the offense the ball at the 45-yard line of Miami. Brad Johnson was 1 of 3 in the first series. He'll throw again. He's got a man. Michael Pittman on the reception down around the 15 of Miami.
Exactly what we talked about. You attack Junior Seau, see if he's got anything left in the tank. He doesn't. Michael Pittman ran right by him like he was standing still. You'll take a look at Pittman coming out of the backfield. Look at Junior Seau right there, how far he is behind Michael Pittman. Junior Seau's got to be wondering, what the heck? Where did my speed go? I couldn't keep up with Michael Pittman.
28-yard pickup at the 17 of Miami. And Michael Pittman, maybe they set him up the first series. He ran a couple of times, this time streaking downfield. Mike Allstott, the A-train over the right side. Met hard, but gets down inside the 15-yard line. Brock Marion up from the safety position to make the stop.
Yeah, and Brock Marion, one of those hard hitters, a nosy safety. In other words, likes to get his nose involved in the running game. He will make hits. And Sammy Knight comes over from the Saints to these Dolphins. They are looking for the hitters in that secondary. They have a couple in Brock Marion and Sammy Knight.
Pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. We'll be watching that running back position. Of course, Pittman and Allstott in place, but there are some guys we're going to look at throughout the course of the game. As on 2nd and 7, Brad Johnson has Keyshawn Johnson in motion. Pittman in the backfield, fake pitch. He looks to throw. A little shovel pitch to the tight end that is bobbled and incomplete. Ricky Dudley on the other side of that.
Yeah, once again, the Bucks coming with the misdirection plays to slow down that quick upfield rush of the Miami Dolphins. Brad got to the perimeter, got outside, but really no one was open. Brad does a nice job with the fake pitch. As you can see, trying to get deep to Yoder over the top. Ricky Dudley blocking. Brad gets in trouble. Turn around. Save me.
Todd Yoder, who was the intended receiver, in the offseason at the Florida Aquarium, he swam with sharks. Here he's trying to run from Dolphins.
Oh, you're so witty.
Third down efficiency from last week. They have 3rd and 6 here from inside the 14 of Miami. Brad Johnson going to throw him a flag fly. Completion on the right side to Dilger. Let's see what the penalty is. Zach Thomas helping to force Dilger out of bounds.
It's like holding on the Dolphins. No.
Well, we have 2 penalties that offset, right? Holding against the Bucks and offsides on Miami. At least. All right, so the Bucks will take another shot. Look, you can't get enough plays in preseason,
That's right?
Especially
That's
with your
right.
number 1 unit out here.
Yeah, you'd like to punch this thing in, though. You got great field position on the turnover. You got the big play to Michael Pittman, and probably a better thrown ball would have been a touchdown because Pittman was well behind Junior Seau. So you want to capitalize on those turnovers, and historically, particularly last season, the Bucks did a terrific job.
All right, Pittman in the backfield alone, 3 wide receivers. Johnson to throw. He's got McCardell. Did he get the first down? Terrell Buckley wants a buck. second tour in Miami.
Brad did an outstanding job of buying time in the pocket, allowing Keenan McCardell to find the soft spot in the Dolphins secondary. You see Brad setting up in the pocket, looks to his right, now feels a little pressure, starts moving on the pocket, and this is when the quarterback must be aware of where all his receivers are. Scramble rules.
And let's take a look at McCardell with the matchup here, and a guy who really came through for the Bucs last year, and he runs free.
Right now he settles in the zone, doesn't run through the zone. All too often you'll see inexperienced receivers cover themselves up. Keenan McCardell does a nice job of finding the soft spot and uncovering, and Brad could find him.
All right, so they didn't get the first down, but it was close enough to measure, and it's just inches, and the Bucs are going to go for it inside.
Oh, come on, it's a preseason. Go for it. That's what we're talking about.
You sound like a quarterback. You always want to go for it.
Everyone's courageous in the preseason.
All right, well, you have Mike Allstott, so why wouldn't you go for it, right? Dolphin fans cheering for their defense. The A-train gets it. I don't know.
Well, follow Darian Barnes on the ISO. Trying to ISO Darian Barnes and the linebacker and let Big Mike hit it up in there. I believe they've got the first down.
And yes, the official doesn't even hesitate. So the Bucs get a first down. And let's take another look at that fullback helping to open the way.
Here it comes. Darian Barnes leading right up in there on Zach Thomas, just giving a little bit of room. And Brad saying, yeah, first down, we got it. Check it out. There it is. I'll tell you, there's nothing Brad can't do. He's officiating, first down, everything.
And maybe he'll do some announcing. Darian Barnes in a
Are you trying to get rid of me already?
No, we just started. Come on. Darian Barnes in a fullback battle with Jabril Cook, and so we'll watch for him a little bit later on. But the good news for the Bucs is they have the first down. It's first and goal. And it's a touchdown, Michael Pittman.
Just an outstanding job of the misdirection. Mike Allstott hitting up inside, Pittman behind him. Offensive line, when the running back goes untouched in the end zone, give some credit to the boys up front. Bill Muir's guys, terrific.
Quick and happening. A touchdown Buccaneers as Michael Pittman runs it right through the gut and gives the Bucs a quick 6-0 first quarter lead.
Real nice job right there, and you could just see that hole open. Chris Myers, you might have even scored on that play. John Gruden loves it, baby. Preseason, hey, that's my punch it in.
Yeah, I don't think John Gruden would give me the ball, no matter how big the hole is. All right, so Michael Pittman, a guy who's off-season or off-field issues during the off-season may create some problems, gives the Bucs the lead. And the extra point, Ralph Kleinman, the kicker from Germany, as Martin Gramatica will not kick in this game. Give the leg a rest with 5 preseason games. Michael Pittman and the Buccaneers out in front. Preseason game number 2. They have a 7-0 first quarter lead in Miami.
I'm Dan Lucas. Coming up on Sunday Sports Extra, J.P. Peterson returns to Bucs training camp at Disney with a complete analysis of this weekend's game against the Dolphins. Dave Reynolds checks in with former Gator Ernest Graham and his dream of making the team. The Rays continue their 10-game homestand against the Royals, and I'll check in with the USF Bulls as they open their first season in Conference USA. So for the best locally produced sports show in Tampa Bay, watch Sunday Sports Extra on News Channel 8.
Wow, you should join the Best Buy Reward Zone.
Yeah?
Yeah, you earn points on the stuff you buy, plus every day we're giving away a $25,000 shopping spree.
$25,000? Plasma. Oh, TiVo. Oh, look at all this stuff.
Sony Vinyl.
Oh, this is so cool. What was that?
Ah!
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Join the Best Buy Reward Zone and you could win a $25,000 shopping spree. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours.
Come on, Dad. You can do it. Faster, Dad. Keep going, Dad. Let's go, Dad. Ring the bell at the top. That's my dad. He's going all the way up. You're going all the way up to the top, right, Dad?
At least you can count on Toro mowers. Guaranteed to start on the first or second pull. Or we'll fix it free.
Yeah, welcome back to Pro Player Stadium. Our aerial views courtesy of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. They'd like to remind you to take all of life's journeys on the wings of Goodyear. We'll look down below so far. The weather cooperating. Thunderstorms in the area. That's usual for South Florida this time of year. And Michael Pittman, 3 carries in the game for 13 yards and a touchdown run. He also had the big catch for 28 yards. And let's take a look at the big plays in the scoring drive. It started with defense, and Dwight Smith on the Michael fumble.
You got to create points off of turnovers. Here was the big play to Michael Pittman, singled up on Junior Seau, and Seau's going to say ouch on that one. He just couldn't stay with Michael Pittman. Brad loves it. Give me that single coverage.
And they went on 4th and inches and capped the scoring drive as Michael Pittman put the Bucs into the end zone. Dolphins have the ball, and we'll be back to look at them on offense in a moment.
Hey guys, I'm Lindsey Bryan. If you're looking for a little spice to funk up your Tampa Bay evenings, we've got all the right moves coming for you this fall, Saturday night on the...
Hey, welcome back to Pro Player Stadium. Nice to have you with us. Buccaneers with a 7-0 lead over the Dolphins, and you're looking at linebacker Eddie Moore, the rookie from Miami, who was apparently injured on the kickoff return by the Dolphins. And he's a guy who they thought about, he could push the starter. Let's take a look as Charlie Rogers returns Kleinman's kick after the Tampa Bay touchdown.
And if you're a linebacker, you'll see number 58 went down right in that pile up there, and probably someone rolled over his leg. If you're a rookie linebacker, you're going to be on all the special teams. Could be a little setback for the Dolphins.
1st and 10 Dolphins. Greasy to throw, and he's in trouble and brought down around the 20-yard line. And that is Warren Sapp and Shelton Quarles getting the job done.
But outstanding coverage in the secondary. Once again, the Dolphins go play action on 1st down against that Bucs base coverage. Cover 2, looking for the big play. Coverage is outstanding downfield. You see Brian whips that head around, can't find anybody, looks for the dump off. Here comes the pressure. Shelton Quarles up the middle for the sack.
So it'll be 2nd down for Greasy and the Dolphin offense at the 20-yard line of Miami.
But what an upgrade last year. Shelton Quarles playing that middle linebacker spot, replacing Jamie Duncan, and just had one terrific season.
Greasy to throw. He's got Ricky Williams. Looks like they might lose a yard. They didn't develop the way Norm Turner probably would have liked against that on-rushing Buck defense.
Well, the Buck defense is not the kind of team where screens are going to be effective. This team is on defense is lean, they're fast, they're quick, they swarm to the football. To move the football against that Buck defense, you got to use the quick misdirection. You start getting the ball in the perimeter, they fly. Look at Monty, he's loving it. He's seeing 11 guys get to the football.
And on 3rd and 20, that Monty is going to let his guys loose.
Well, I don't want to be Brian Greasy right now.
He's wondering how about his back spasms. They're going to run the ball to Ricky Williams, who gets out around the 24-yard line.
And John Gruden would call those inconsequential yards. Give him his 6 yards on 3rd and 20 and punt.
And Booger McFarland on the tackle. Yeah, they don't want Greasy getting beat up in his first game as a Dolphin. Of course, we have the sons of Super Bowl quarterbacks on display here tonight. Brian Greasy, son of Bob Greasy, the former Dolphin, and Chris Sims, we'll see later, of course. Phil Sims, the Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Giants.
Yeah, my son's a good golfer. Can I get that plug in there?
Yeah, all right.
He was smart. He's playing golf.
If he comes to one of your golf courses, too, he better be a good golfer. Mark Royals to punt, a one-time Buccaneer. That's actually Kevin Stemke, I'm sorry, punting here for Miami. And on the return, Aaron Stecker at about the 20-yard line of the Bucs. He's going to get up across the 25, around the 28-yard line. There's a flag down back where Stemke punted the ball. Stemke is it's holding against the Dolphins, the punting team. Stemke is hoping to land a spot, but Mark Royals, the Dolphin punter, who was once a member of the Bucs, pretty secure in that position, just as Lindo Mari is as the place kicker. We'll see Rob Hart kick for Dave Longstadt's team a little bit later tonight.
Well, if Kevin Stemke kicks the ball like that, he may not be on the Dolphins roster, but he'll be on somebody's roster. That was a booming punt.
57 of the kicking team. 10-yard penalty, still 4th down.
With great hang time and allowed the coverage team to get downfield, but all for naught because Stemke's going to have to do it all over again. Holding by the Dolphins.
And so the Bucs will get a chance to work on their return. As Dave Longstadt, their special teams last year, they averaged a penalty and a half every game. And those are the kinds of things, they were in key spots that will work against you. So I'm sure Dave's not worried about that as Stemke is ready to kick it to Stecker. And remember, this is the first preseason game for the Dolphins. The Bucs, of course, on their second preseason game, had a chance to work on some special teams in game situations.
Chris, there's still no excuse. I mean, I don't care if it's a first preseason game, it's a practice game, if you're scrimmaging. It's those little things that that cost the team. You mentioned the Dolphins penalties of a year ago. You know, they missed out in the playoffs, you know, but by a whisker. And I'm sure one of those games along the way, here they get another penalty right here, delay of game. You know, these are the little things that hurt a football team. They had the Bucs backed up inside the 30. Now the Bucs going to get the ball probably inside their 50. That's great field position. Dave is not happy right now. You know, he doesn't care if it's the first preseason game or not. He's starting to get on his coaches. Let's wake up over here in the sideline. What's going on with these special teams? You have a holding penalty, and all of a sudden now you've got another penalty for delay a game? You got to be kidding me.
Stepke will kick it from his own end zone, so Aaron Stecker went from his own 20 to the 45, ready to return the punt. It was a low snap. Stepke still gets it away, and it'll be Stecker back around. Well, the bounces in front of him, but he's got it at the 35. Over the 45, where the Buck offense will take over. So a major swing in field position as they gain about 10-15 yards. The punt, a 57-yarder.
Yeah, and the flag down looked like a Tim Wansley may have been holding on that return.
Holding 31 of the receiving team.
You got an eye like an official, Jaws. I can see why you. How come you didn't hit open receivers when you were playing?
Oh, that hurt. That hurt.
I kid because I care.
Yeah, oh, that's correct.
All right, so it was on the run back. So the Bucs will have the ball. It will be first down, but they'll be assessed the yardage. 7-0 Tampa Bay leading, and we may see Sean King at quarterback when we come back.
We were on a wireless family talk plan. Imagine worrying about
Miami. Brad Johnson with 3 of 6 for 41 yards. So Sean King is now in at quarterback.
And here's the scouting report. Athletic Sean King, streaky guy. I mean, once he gets going, I'll tell you what, he can light it up. It has a tendency to be a little bit inaccurate. Still a guy that you can count on. A solid backup, will come in the game and not make mistakes.
Aaron Stecker in the backfield with Thomas Jones from their own 26-yard line. And the give is to Stecker. In his 4th year out of Western Illinois over the right side. Zach Thomas in on the tackle, as he so often is. The starting offensive line still in there for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, you want to give Sean King an opportunity with the big guys in front of him. You give Stecker a chance to carry the football with the first-team offensive line. Stecker really gives, you know, another dimension to the Bucs offense. He can run the football. He can catch the ball at the backfield, create those favorable matchups that John Gruden loves to create.
2nd and 7, 4 wide receivers in the game for Sean King, and Aaron Stecker, the lone back, gets the ball. And doesn't get much over the left side, where Tim Bowens brings him down around just short of the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Tim Bowens did a nice job there of maintaining his backside gap discipline. The Bucs tried to run that stretch play, spread the field, and then stretch it with the running game. But Bowens stayed at home, and once Stecker got slowed down a little bit, the big fella, Bowens made the tackle.
So the Bucs and Sean King with a 3rd and 7, 4:50 in the first quarter remaining. This will be an interesting test against this Dolphins secondary.
Yeah, this is a tight end time right in here. This formation could look in that hash area, try to create the opportunity for Gilbert.
King to throw. Now he's going to run over the 35, up near the 40, and has a first down. And the advantage of having a guy who moves well, Zach Thomas, brought him down.
Well, if you would have watched my scouting report when I said athletic, he showed it right there.
I was too busy watching you wave your hand. All right, so but this is a nice built-in advantage for a guy to come off the bench.
Nice job right there of spotting the hole and hitting up inside. You know, when the offensive line does a good job of creating those passing lanes, sometimes it can create some good running lanes. Sean read it and took up the field. 1st and
10 Bucs from the 40. Sean King with a quick pass to Ricky Dudley out around the 47-yard line. That's Carl Williams on the catch. Check that. Carl Williams, known for his return skills, battling for a receiver position on this team, and Jamar Fletcher makes the tackle.
And you see Carl a year ago, you know, punt returns, 43 of them. He gives you that added dimension of being able to, you know, return the ball from the punt position, as well as being an outstanding wide receiver. Can play in the slot, can play out wide. Another nice dimension from that wide receiver position from Carl Williams.
On 2nd and 4, they'll run the ball. Thomas Jones back to Sean King. They're going to throw it instead. And he had a man a little high for Jerevicius. It's incomplete.
He had a man. He also had Jason Taylor in his hip pocket. I'm not sure he even grabbed the lace on that ball. Sean did a nice job of avoiding Jason Taylor and trying to get the ball to Joe Jerevicius.
John Gruden getting a little creative here.
Yeah, John's opened up the playbook early. Let's take a look at center John Wade up in the middle of the pile there. You'll see him, number 76, comes off. He sets for the run. Now he knows it's a pass. Holds it tight. He's blocking Larry Webster. Larry said, "Where's the ball, man?" But Jason Taylor did not get fooled on the play.
Gruden happy with what John Wade has done so far. Wade out of Marshall, former teammate of Randy Moss's. We won't hold that against him. On 3rd and 4, Sean King throwing, and a nice catch, turning one-handed, bringing it in by Joe Jaravisas to give the Bucs a first down.
Yeah, what you're seeing is excellent execution by the Bucs offense. It's vintage John Gruden. Possess the football. They do a great job of getting open. It sounds like such an easy thing to say, but the Bucs offense, they read. If you look over in this area right here, they're going to find the soft spot. There Joe feels it. He settles down. Sean King on the same page. This is a well-coached, well-disciplined offensive team.
Aaron Stecker in the backfield on first down, and he gets the ball. Hit hard. Up around the 42, 41-yard line of the Dolphins. Sammy Knight, 7-year veteran out of USC, who was a real gamer with the Saints, wins a starting safety position in Miami, making a good defense, maybe a great defense, maybe even a little better.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, in this style of defense, the way that the Dolphins like to play, they attack the line of scrimmage. What you would see in the regular season, John won't do it in the preseason. He would attack Sammy Knight somehow, some way, make him cover a wide receiver down the field. Sammy Knight can be a liability in pass coverage.
2nd down 7, Aaron Stecker in the backfield. That's a bunched formation, but he's going to throw, and he's got some time, and he's got Aaron Stecker down around the 32-yard line. Zach Thomas on the tackle.
And Zach Thomas, who's an outstanding cover linebacker, matched against Aaron Stecker. It's a mismatch. Aaron Stecker should win that matchup. A scat back out the backfield against a 245-pound linebacker. Again, John Gruden getting the matchups. He's dictating the matchups, getting his personnel in a position to make plays. Sean King does a nice job. You see him set in the pocket here. You'll see Stecker drift down through the line, just put a little okey-doke move on Zach. Sprint out to the flat, accurate throw, up the field, move the chains, first down, Tampa Bay.
From the 31 of Miami, Thomas Jones gets the football and is brought down in the backfield by Zach Thomas penetrating.
The key to good run defense is penetration. Zach Thomas read the play very well, fired the gap, and brings down Thomas Jones in the backfield for a loss.
And this is what John Gruden told us, Johns, before the game. He wanted to see Stecker and Jones give them a lot of work. I mean, there's a position here they're battling for. And look at the Bucs. They've not only the time of possession in their favor in this first quarter, they lead 7-0, but total yards 101-11.
Total domination by the Bucs thus far in this game.
2nd and 14. Thomas Jones in the backfield. King to throw. Maybe not. He's going to run across the 30 down around the 27-yard line of the Dolphins.
What's literally amazing as I watch here in the first quarter 45 seconds ago is the number of formation variations John Gruden has thrown on the field already. You know, later in this game, I'm sure he'll probably condense it a little bit when Chris Sims gets in the game, but he's got his veteran quarterback out there now. He's got a veteran offensive group. He is giving the Dolphins all kinds of looks formation-wise, been very effective.
And just the plan is for King to finish the half, maybe even start the third quarter, and then we'll see rookie Chris Sims. Aaron Stecker in the backfield, 3rd and 5 after the scramble by Sean King. And a little pitch to Stecker, who goes up the middle. He's down around the 10-yard line. The ball pops loose, but it appeared that the Bucs got it back.
The old shovel pass. When you have a defensive end that loves to attack up the field, run a trap or the shovel inside of them. Outstanding call once again by John Gruden. Sean King does a real good job of forcing the play to Jason Taylor. Little underhand pitch. By the way, you get a completion for that as well.
And it is the Bucs ball as they are in inside the 10 of the Dolphins, trying to add to their 7-0 lead. So John Gruden, he went for it on 4th and inches in one drive. Now he's got Sean King scrambling to set the Bucs up for another score. Glad to have you with us. Second preseason game of the year for Tampa Bay, and we'll be back in just a moment. And that's, you know, Dolphin fans felt that way when their team missed the playoffs last year.
Yeah, they should have. All they had to do was beat the Patriots up there. They had a nice, comfortable lead and let it slip away, and they watched the playoffs at home.
Current drive, 66 yards. Sean King, he's thrown for 28 yards. He's rushed for 20 on 1st and goal. He's going to throw for it. Ball is tipped and incomplete.
Now he had Jurevicius. It would have been a touchdown. The ball was tipped to the line of scrimmage. What I like about Sean King right now, we see that 20 rushing yards, and everyone talks about the modern-day quarterback, Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, Jeff Garcia, guys that have got to use their legs to make plays. But I like the way King is playing. He's reading downfield. He's taking the run as an option. The receivers were covered. He saw the lanes. He ran after he read downfield. That's the way the quarterback position should be played.
Brad Johnson, a couple of series watching Sean King in action. Jason Taylor, Larry Chester out of the game for the Dolphins on the defensive line. And the give over the left side is to Thomas Jones, who gets down around the 5-yard line for Tampa Bay, where it'll be 3rd and goal. Remember, he had that quick hitting score in the game in Tokyo when he got the Bucs the touchdown.
You'll see Sean hand it off right here, just straight ISO once again. It's a mano on a mano. They got a little penetration there, which caused Thomas Jones to veer to the outside. But you could see the quickness in Jones. Got a little Getty up in his step. Showed a nice vision there to bounce it to the outside.
Jameel Cook hit at fullback with Thomas Jones on 3rd and 5. 3rd and goal for Sean King. It's a touchdown, Tampa Bay. Joe Jurevicius makes it 13-0 Buccaneers. A rifle pass from Sean King.
Yeah, they get Joe Jurevicius and matched up against Roundtree, the safety, and Joe with his size just got the move to the inside. Big target for Sean. Put the ball right on the numbers. Joe tucked it away. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Watch, you got to watch it right in here. This is a nice little switch right there. They jump the underneath route and it leaves Joe Jurevicius open over the top. Once again, I hate to harp on this. Good design by John Gruden. You got the matchup he wanted. They jumped the receiver underneath. You got Jurevicius over the top, matched up against the safety. Joe will win that matchup.
All right, trouble on the snap. The extra point, the hold not good. Ralph Kleinman, remember Martin Gramatica not kicking to give him a break. So they only get 6, but the Bucs with a 13-0 second quarter lead. Stadium, Sunset here in Miami. 13-0 Buccaneers. Andy Groom, the holder on that snap for Ralph Kleinman. He's the rookie punter from Ohio State who will battle Tom Tupa, as Sean King signing the 1-year contract, coming back as the backup. Of course, Jim Miller was signed. He hasn't played yet in the preseason, recovering from injury. We're going to see Chris Sims a little bit later as the Buccaneers get ready to kick it off to the Dolphins.
You know, Chris, Sean King can play in this league. You know, there's a dearth of quarterback talent around this league, and Sean King has always impressed me as a guy that, you know, gets on the field, gets the job done. He sometimes may not look the prettiest, but he's an efficient guy. He can play in this league.
Charlie Rogers up across the 20, and he is hammered by Daniel Wilcox, a fullback tight end who made the Buccaneer squad last year on special teams and is in a battle at the tight end position. We'll look at that later with Todd Yoder and Will Heller. So the Miami offense takes over the scoring drive, and Sean King was very impressive. He and Aaron Stecker and Thomas Jones worked the ball downfield.
14 plays, 76 yards, own the clock. Well, I tell you know the happiest people on that Bucs sideline right now? The defense.
And so far, it's been all Tampa Bay. Travis Minor carries, 3-year player out of Florida State. And the starters are out on defense, at least much of the starters. Let's get out on the field. J.P. Peterson, what do you have for us, J.P.?
Hey, Chris, we got the bull right here. Brad Johnson. Brad, you got to be very pleased. 1 out of 2 of your 2 possessions you score. Your assessment of the offense?
Very happy with that. We scored 2 out of 3 with Sean in there now, especially against they were the #1 team in the AFC last year on defense. So we're picking up things. That's what we talked about progressively. We've gotten better from last year to this year and feel very comfortable with the offensive line and Pittman, and those guys are making some plays. And that's the thing, they're making plays.
You isolated Pittman on Sayal. You wanted to get that matchup, and it worked.
We wanted to go after him real early, and Sayal was yelling pass, 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 and we ran a little out and up on him. He did a great job of selling the flat and then taking it up top. I wish I would have let him a little bit more, but he ended up getting the touchdown later on the run anyways, but it was a big play for us, a big momentum play for us.
Brad, you made a nice throw on the run there. Once again, your underrated, gifted running ability showing itself there.
How about those shakes, you know? So, I almost shook my own self out, but it was a crazy play. Rick and I, we laughed at it, and I don't think there'll be too many plays like that again this year. We'll see.
Yeah, Brad, nice job. Back to you guys.
All right, we got a loose football on the field. Travis Minor has it come loose after a first down catch. Reese to Chris Chambers. pretty cool talking to the starting quarterback, winning quarterback in the Super Bowl during the preseason game. Let's take another look, Jaws, at how Minor ran to the right side.
Yeah, Travis Minor's got to wrap that football up. You know, there's going to be contact. There's going to be a hit. Dwayne White in there making, you know, a good shot. But, you know, in this game, you cannot turn the football over. More games in the National Football League are lost than are won. You know, you can't give the football away, especially when you're backed up inside your own 50.
All right, Greasy go to throw. And he is sacked down at the 30-yard line. And that is Dwayne White and Ron Warner. And White, the top pick for the Bucs in the second round out of Louisville. An amazing story in that his father died before he was a year old, as we get another look at the play.
Yeah, and originally Brian does have time to throw the football. All of a sudden the pocket collapses. You got Ron Warner and Dwayne White right on top of him. And I tell you, when the cuts start coming late in training camp, you're going to see every team in the NFL watching this Bucs defensive line. They are really deep. And the guys that do get cut from this group, you know what? They're going to end up playing somewhere.
Yeah, as Greasy attempts to throw here and has a man. Nice catch out there around the 38-yard line. Sam Simmons, just to finish up on White. His father dies before he's a year old. His stepfather is shot and paralyzed from the waist down. His mother is diagnosed with cancer. She passes away as a teenager. His aunt helps to raise him. 2 different houses he lived in burned to the ground, and yet here he is playing in an NFL game and on a Super Bowl team. So whatever happens from here on out, here's a guy who shows if you hang in there, good things can happen.
No question about it. He's dealt with a lot of adversity in a very positive way. A good role model.
All right, so the Dolphins stymied again on offense, and Stepke punting to Tim Wansley, who has it inside the 15, out across the 20. Up around the 27, 28-yard line where the Buck offense will take over. And Jaws, it's 13-0 Buccaneers. They're pretty much running this thing like they're in playoff form, preseason or not.
Picked up where they left off in Super Bowl 37 in Tokyo, and now doing it down here in Miami.
It is.
Pick up a copy of the Tampa Tribune tomorrow morning for fanatical Buccaneers coverage. Get player news, features, a wrap-up of this game and the season ahead. The Tampa Tribune, the official newspaper of the Tampa Bay Bucs and their fans. And their fans are here watching their team build a 13-0 lead. We have 11-12 to go in the first half as Warren Sapp and the #1 defensive unit getting a rest, and the #1 offensive line going to get a rest here as the Bucs take over on offense at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, and the Bucs accentuated the offensive line in the draft. They're trying to get some youth up front, build some depth in that group, and they're going to get a chance to play right now.
Sean King took over after a couple of series from Brad Johnson, led him to a score. The extra point failed. A little quick pass to Stecker that was incomplete. Looked like he wanted to go downfield. Jaws didn't find anything.
No question. He was looking for Reggie Barlow in a little 5-yard hitch route. Probably should have delivered the football, but didn't get a clear definition. You see him looking at Barlow. Maybe moved a little bit quicker than he should have. Tried to just dump it off to Stecker, but certainly saw the pressure coming there from Corey Jenkins and just threw it to the outside. Incomplete. Rather be 2nd and 10 than throw a pick.
John Gruden looking at some of the draft picks on that offensive line. Lance Nimmo, Sean Mahan out of Notre Dame helping out. This is Stecker carrying up the middle, breaks loose across the 40. Gets another Tampa Bay first down.
When you watch Aaron Stecker, he just gets better and better. Here you'll see the delay. Hits up inside. Good job by the O-line. Nice little spin move right there. Just runs away from number 50, Ayan Badejo. How'd I do on that one?
You did. Well, that's an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. We'll work on that.
Bad for the Polish guy, you know.
I just learned how to say Jaworski. Yeah. Jaws, that's why we call you Jaws. All right, so Stecker impressive so far in this game for the Bucs as he gets the carry again over the right side. And on that previous play, Austin King and Dan Goodspeed helping out on the offensive line to open up the hole and give him a little bit of running room. And John Gruden said that we'd get a good look tonight at the Stecker and Jones and also Darian Barnes and Jameel Cook battling at fullback. I mean, he's got some decisions to make. You know, Michael Pittman had the nice opening series, made the nice catch, but once the legal issues in September are decided upon, right now the Bucs just don't know if Pittman's going to be able to be there when the regular season rolls around.
So they're trying to build that depth at the running back position. That was really the reason for the acquisition of Thomas Jones.
King to throw, and down the middle, it's tipped away, intended for Reggie Barlow.
Boy, and Corey Jenkins just made one heck of a play. They went to their cover 2, where that middle linebacker, Corey Jenkins, has to get deep down the middle, and Reggie Barlow was streaking down that seam. We'll take it right here. Here's the hole they're trying to hit. Now look at this job right in there. Excellent coverage. Boy, Barlow got behind into that seam, but certainly Jenkins made one heck of a play.
And Reggie Barlow out of Alabama State, one of the receivers battling for a spot here in competition with Jaquez Green, Fabian Davis from Wake Forest, and we'll see a little bit later.
Fabian's here.
Yes, not that Fabian. Oh. Boy, you really are on top of things, aren't you? 3rd and 7 for Sean King and the Buck offense. They've pretty much had things their way from their own 45. He's going to run. Oh, we got a flag down. He's over the right side running for the 3rd time in this game, and the ball comes loose at the end of the one. It's a fumble, and I don't think it'll come back.
Yeah, Bernie's giving the old holding signal. There's Bernie Kukar.
Josh, do you want when Coach Gruden wants Sean King to be running that much, even at a preseason game? Should he hang in there longer for the right pass play?
No, I think Sean is doing an outstanding job because he's staying in the pocket, going through his reading progression. First receiver, second receiver, third receiver. They're not breaking open. He's seeing the rush open like the Red Sea, so he's taking the running opportunity. Again, I think he's doing a real solid job. He's not taking one step, dropping back, and taking off the run. He's staying with his reading progression.
Sean King, a local kid who's done good, and of course his college ball at Tulane in his 5th year, signing the 1-year deal. And we have another flag fly. Looks like a motion on the offense.
John will not be happy.
Yep.
Ball start.
There it is.
22 offense. 5-yard penalty.
John, it's a preseason game. Chill out.
Yeah, right. You know, if you download hard work intense, his bio comes up on your computer first thing. And after all they traded to get him and got the immediate result with a Super Bowl win, he doesn't want you heard him. He said we can't let this team let up at all.
Yeah, I mean, people are concerned about a Super Bowl hangover. Not with John Gruden. Are you kidding me? He's going nuts because they just had a motion penalty in the 2nd preseason game.
So it's 3rd and 22. King with a little flip out to Stecker on the right side. They'll get some of it back, but not enough for a first down up across the 40. Arturo Freeman on the tackle. Arturo Freeman is still battling Terrell Buckley. They both want to wear that jersey number 27. They both will figure in the Dolphin defense. And it looks like if Tom Tupa, because again the Bucs did not have to punt the ball in their preseason opener over in Tokyo in their victory against the Jets. Tupa, veteran from Ohio State, and the rookie Andy Groom, who he's battling with, broke his career punting average of 45 yards a kick at Ohio State.
That was partially blocked, but it was another poor punt.
Charlie Rogers watches it bounce out of bounds, and we'll get the official mark up around the 34-yard line where the Miami offense will take over. Tom Tupa, when I talked to Coach Gruden in training camp, he said, well, you got to give him the edge. He's the veteran, but he's going to have to kick better to keep the job. It's 13-0 Buccaneers. Dolphins will have the football. We'll be back in a moment.
During Chrysler's summer sales drive, the PT Cruiser is more versatile than ever. Introducing the Tampa Bay Tailgate Tip, available at no additional charge with the purchase of a one-of-a-kind Chrysler PT Cruiser. After all, you'll need a place to entertain the cheerleaders. Chrysler, the official vehicle of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the coolest way to tailgate this season. Go to your local Chrysler Jeep dealer today and register to win tickets to the Bucs home opener and access to Chrysler's ultimate tailgate party before the game.
Okay, so there's a new cable company in town, Bright House Networks. Just think, they have more than 40 years in the business, and they're the ones who keep coming up with all those bright ideas. Local channels in HD TV, more services that put you in control, like being able to start and pause a movie whenever you want, and the new digital video recorder lets you pause live TV. Bright House, bright ideas. What'll they think of next? Call to find out more.
So we can get the low financing.
Or the cash allowance.
And the 770 warranty.
Yep.
We should do it.
Yeah. Now grab our best deals, like 0% financing for 60 months, or cash allowances of up to $3,500 on Dodge Caravan, America's best-selling minivan. Plus, get our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
Sweet. The remote control always gets them.
Let us prove we've got the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer today.
J.P. Peterson back with you at Pro Players Stadium. The Bucs leading the Dolphins 13-0. Rondé Barber joins us. Rondé, starters on starters. You guys get a turnover, negative yardage on the second drive. I think that's a perfect game.
Yeah, we went out. I put it this way. Monty had a schedule for about 10 players. We did so well in 7. He told us to sit out the rest of the night.
Secondary did very well. You guys combined to get that turnover, and I know you're already going to lobby that the Quoro sack was a covered sack, right?
Yeah, of course it was. It's always a covered sack, but we're humming right now. There's a lot of juice over there on our side of the ball. Offense is doing what they've been doing in Tokyo, and we're having a lot of fun, and that's what makes this game interesting for us.
And Rondé, what about your knee? How did it feel tonight?
It felt good. It was my first opportunity to get on it full speed, and it felt like the knee of last year, so I'm pretty good to go. Another couple weeks, get strength back, I'll be fine.
Sounds great. Thank you very much, Rondé. Back up to you guys.
All right, J.P. Peterson, thank you very much. Roaming the sidelines with Ron Jaworski. Chris Myers, nice to have you with us in the second quarter. The Bucs with a 13-0 lead. Miami the football, and Brian Griese giving it to Travis Minor, who picked up 15, but a penalty flag down, and they're discussing it. Dwight Smith on the other end, bringing down Travis Minor. Ricky Williams playing sparingly in the opening quarter. And it's a personal foul face mask against Dwight Smith and Tampa's defense. So we'll see where they mark it off. Again, if you joined us late, Jay Fiedler, here's the call.
Personal foul, grabbing and pulling on the face mask, number 26 defense, late hit on a ball. That penalty is declined, 15 yards, first down.
All right, so they're going to tack on the penalty here.
Well, you see Travis Minor, and well, boy, they're both grabbing the face mask. They only called it on Dwight Smith. They could have called it on Travis Minor as well, but they didn't. It's 15 yards against the Buccaneers. What did they have that meeting for? They had 5 guys huddle up, and to me it should have been offsetting penalties. I think John appears to feel the same way.
An aggressive move, a very offensive move by Travis Minor. Again, Jay Fiedler with back spasms did not start. Griese did at quarterback for Miami, and gives to Minor over the right side. Justin Smith from Indiana, the linebacker, coming up to make the tackle for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, Justin Smith did a nice job there of diagnosing the misdirection play. And look at this defense. This is what it's all about. Creating turnovers with pressure. 2 sacks, 5 hurries, a turnover. Only 3 first downs allowed and 2 Miami Dolphin punts. Monty's loving it, but not right now. He said, hey, I know it's a second group out there, but we have a standard. That bar is high. We want you guys to uphold that standard.
2nd and 3 for Griese, who looks to throw and does. Complete to Darius Thompson out of Baylor, who they picked up from the Redskins. John Howell, safety for the Bucs, on the tackle. Thompson, who North Turner had in Washington, comes over and takes the spot across from Chambers as the starter.
And we do have a completed catch. That's first down.
And you got Darius Thompson along with Chris Chambers. You got 2 big wide receivers, red zone receivers. You'll see the throw coming out right there. They've been slightly tipped. Goes inside. It looked like he kept his hands under the ball. I think I got to give that one to Darius. Good job.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line of the Bucs. Griese gives to Minor at a little delay, and he gets up inside the 15 down around the 12-yard line. So with the help of some penalties, the Dolphin offense moving. John Howell again in on the tackle. Reminding you of John Lynch, the way he plays. Howell out of rookie from Colorado State.
Well, you are asking someone to fill some big shoes and you say plays like John Lynch. John Lynch been the consummate professional, one of the best safeties to ever put on the cleats in this business. And John Howell would certainly love to hear you compare him to John Lynch.
Well, just that he's stepping in for him in a preseason game. 2nd and 5 for the Dolphins, and Minor carries again, getting a lot of work.
You know, Chris, you're very sensitive tonight. I know it's our first game working together.
We haven't worked together in a few years, so it's nice to be back by your side. I keep waiting for you to put a donut in my shoe, like you did with Phil Simms back in our days.
No, Phil put the donut in your shoes. I put the rolls in your suit.
Oh, okay. We were back in the vaults of NFL films. All right, so the Dolphins running with Travis Minor quite a bit. I'll have a 3rd and 1. They're at the 9-yard line of the Buccaneers. Griese, by the way, in this game, 6 of 7 for 45 yards. And he's rolling. Had a man thrown a little bit low and incomplete.
Well, you got to hit it or you got to make a great catch. But you get Chris Chambers out in the flat. They ran a nice little rub play. I won't say pick because the league will get mad at me. You'll see Brian roll out to his right. Play designed to get the ball to Chris Chambers. A little bit low to the inside, but it was somewhat of a catchable ball. I got to lay a little bit of that on Brian, a little bit on Chris Chambers. But boy, those are the plays when you look back in the course of the season. You got to get the touchdown.
Yeah, they thought, the year before Chambers had big numbers. A little disappointing last year. Linda Murray for the field goal to get the Dolphins on the board, and it's right through the heart. So the Dolphins finally score with 5:42 in the first half against it was the first team offense against the second team defense of the Bucs. 13-3 Tampa Bay. Will be back in a moment.
During Chrysler's summer sales drive, the PT Cruiser is more versatile than ever. Introducing the Tampa Bay Tailgate Tip, available at no additional charge with the purchase of a one-of-a-kind Chrysler PT Cruiser. After all, you'll need a place to entertain the cheerleaders. Chrysler, the official vehicle of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the coolest way to tailgate this season. Go to your local Chrysler Jeep dealer today and register to win tickets to the Bucs home opener and access to Chrysler's ultimate tailgate party before the game.
Okay, you're all hooked up.
When you get just a basic high-speed connection in your house, something happens. It's always open. Really open. Open to all sorts of things you just don't want getting in. But add AOL for broadband, which works with and enhances any high-speed connection and help protect your home from viruses, hackers, spammers, and anything else you don't want getting in. Call now to add AOL to your high-speed connection.
It's clearance time on the biggest selection of Toyota cars. Check out the legendary 2003 Toyota Camry and get $1,000 cash back on the car that's cool enough to be the best-selling car in America. That's $1,000 cash back on all models of the roomier, more powerful 2003 Camry. See your local dealer today or visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota time. The time is now.
Stay tuned for the halftime show, the Dodge halftime show, as you're watching Buccaneer football down in Miami. J.P. Peterson will have highlight stats. General Manager Rich McKay will join him. Halftime on News Channel 8 and the Buccaneer Television Network.
Did you get your new Dodge?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No, but if hanging around all those NASCAR drivers, as we get a look at some of the Dolphin fans, they have something to cheer about. The Bucs with a 13-3 lead. I was talking to Brad Johnson, who wanted to talk NASCAR. He's a big Ricky Rudd fan. As Linda Murray kicks it off. And into the end zone, Torrey Cox will down it. Thomas Jones back there with him, saying, let's just play this safe. So the Bucs will get it at the 20-yard line after the first couple of series with Brad Johnson starting, moving the offense in. They did get 7. And then Sean King comes in and has led them for the 13-0 advantage. And then moments ago, the field goal, as Travis Minor was the key guy, and the penalties aided the drive to set up Murray's field goal to get Miami on the board.
And the Bucs are, quite honestly, a little bit lucky that Brian Griese did not hit Chris Chambers out in the flatter. It would be a 13-7 game, so certainly a 10-point spread is a lot better than 6.
Terry Kirby in the backfield. Sean King 6 of 10 so far, 58 yards. He's also run the ball, and that is Kirby, the veteran who John Gruden had when he was in Oakland. Jay Williams on the tackle for Miami.
In the National Football League, you cannot have enough depth at the running back position. The guys take a pounding week in and week out, and you need the versatility. John was very effective out in Oakland with the plethora of running backs he had out there, and he's beginning to develop the same thing here in Tampa Bay.
Let's check in as the Bucs have a 2nd and 5 on the sideline with J.P. Peterson. King with a completion. That's Charles Lee out of Central Florida. And I think we have JP. Jay?
Yeah, I've got JJ. Joe Bishop's touchdown catch. Tell us about the touchdown catch. Looks like you guys are getting great matchups out there.
Well, I think the most important thing is that whole drive. Our offensive line did a great job, and we moved that ball downfield, and we put ourselves in the scoring position. And on that play, it was a simple post. Carl went under the middle to clear it out for me and gave me an opportunity to make a move on a safety and sharp the ball where it needed to be.
So early in preseason, last game, this game, you guys are incredibly sharp. Is that a testament to the offseason program?
I think it's got a lot to do with our offseason program. I think it's got a lot to knowing our system, and I think it's got a lot to do with the will of these guys wanting to win and get better.
What about Sean King? Wonderful drive. I think you guys went 14 plays.
Sean's the leader. You know, you can see every year that Sean's growing up. You know, not that he wasn't grown up before, but now he's able to go out there, take control of the team, move the offense, knows where everybody has to be, and can tell you where to be if you're not where you need to be. So Sean's doing a great job.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, JP. And JJ, it is Terry Kirby on 2nd and 8. It's a low pass before that he caught Corey Jenkins on the tackle. You know, there were some, Josh, that felt that Joe Jurevicius was the best receiver for the Bucs down the stretch. Became their go-to guy.
Well, he certainly made some big plays in the Super Bowl. He made a terrific play against the Philadelphia Eagles against Barry Gardner, their linebacker. That 70-plus yard play really got the motor running for the Buccaneers. And you know, I want to pass along my personal condolences to Joe and his wife and their family over the significant loss they had this offseason. I know it's been a rough offseason for Joe, but my prayers and thoughts were with him when he was going through that. He's a terrific guy.
Sean King to throw, and he is brought down from behind. Dolphins applying pressure. That's Jay Williams, veteran out of Wake Forest. And the first sack for the Dolphin defense in this game.
Yeah, you'll see Sean. He really never had a chance. Just that back foot will hit, and all of a sudden there's pressure over the top. Jay Williams with a blind side hit. Sean felt him. He tried to move a little bit to his right, but you can see good inside move created the quick pressure on Sean.
So Tom Tupa to punt, and Charlie Rogers back on the return for Miami on 4th and 14. Somebody jumped. We'll get a flag on the call here, and so far Tom Tupa's couple of kicks, his punts have not been all that impressive.
Yeah, and John was impressed with the way Tom Tupa has been kicking in training camp, but I know Tom would like to probably get one out there with a little hang time on it, then some depth.
So far he has a 39er, and actually 2 punts worth 65 yards. He's averaging just over 32 yards a punt. And
is that 65 divided by 2? Is that works?
Help me out here. You have that Youngstown State degree.
You got that right, my friend.
You put it to work.
Penguin power at work.
All right, so a little bit of a pickup for the Buccaneers, but they'll try this again. Tupa flutters, bounces,
flag down, roughing or running into the kicker.
We'll get the call. That was actually holding against the Buccaneers, so they'll move back the other way. Quite a few penalties in the first half of this game, and you know, if I'm reading, John's probably said Jiminy Christmas is in there somewhere.
Exactly, that's exactly what he said.
At least with the cameras on and the microphones on.
10-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Jameel Cook guilty of the infraction. Dave Wanstead a little bit frustrated with some of his problems.
Yeah, we'll see the pressure right there, and there's the hold. Boy, I tell you, Tupa got off another horrible kick.
So the penalties, 5 for the Bucs in this game, and having played the preseason game last week, I know Gruden would like it to be a little sharper. This time, Tupa gets a hold of one. Charlie Rogers back around the 21-yard line. Dances across the 25 up around the 28-yard line. A 51-yard punt from
that was better. That was better. Still, you need a little better hang time. He kind of outkicked the coverage just a bit, but better than that 32.5-yard average you had on the previous 2 punts.
Rogers, a guy from Seattle, picked him up for the Seahawks, and the Dolphins think he could really help them on punts and kickoffs with field position. And given their offense and their defense, Jaws, that's something that they'll rely on quite a bit as Sage Rosenfels is in the game for Brian Griese.
Yeah, no question. Field position, as I mentioned with Charlie Rogers returning that punt, is critical. You know, the Dolphins are not an explosive offensive team. They're going to run the ball, try to get the big plays out of play-action passing. If you can shorten the field of their offense, they'll be more productive.
Former Redskin Sage Rosenfels, who has not completed a pass in a regular season game, throws here, incomplete on the left side, intended for Sam Simmons, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. So a lot of penalties, but the Bucs have the upper hand on their neighborhood battle with the Dolphins at Pro Plater Stadium. It is 13-3 Tampa Bay.
26 weeks of this, and this, and this. 26 weeks. That's how long.
First tackle Preseason coverage of the Buccaneers continues August 23rd when the Bucs take on the Jags. Then on August 28th, the Bucs battle the Houston Texans. Watch preseason Buccaneers football right here on this station. With Ron Jaworski, Chris Myers, and nice to have you with us here at Pro Player Stadium.
The Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's got a nice ring to it. No, man, you know, we've gone through this game, but I should congratulate Malcolm Glazer, the Glazer family, Rich McKay, John Gruden's entire staff for hoisting the Vince Lombardi Trophy down in Tampa.
They got
awesome.
They got the coach. Rich McKay helped get them the players, and they got the big prize, and now they want to go for back-to-back. Robert Edwards in the game, the comeback story after the knee injury, and of course Sage Rosenfeld's in at quarterback for Brian Griese, who started. Jay Fiedler with back spasms did not start. Griese 6 of 8 for 45 yards in his time in the game. Rosenfeld's a guy who was at Washington, came out of Iowa State.
Yeah, he's an athletic guy, can throw the football, good arm, he's tough. Again, a guy hasn't played a whole lot, so he's inconsistent. I had a chance to spend time with Sage down at the Senior Bowl a couple of years ago. He does have the ability, but he is a work in progress.
And throwing from his own 27, hit Sam Simmons out of Northwestern up around the 40-yard line.
Sam got rocked. Woo!
And is he going to be okay? A guy that the Dolphins like very much to help add some depth to their receiving core. That's Torrey Cox,
rookie
out of Pittsburgh, delivering the hit. You know, some of the reserves are in on the Buck defense as we got another look at Rosenfeld's setting up.
Nice delivery on time. You see the catch by Simmons, a great tackle by Torrey Cox. I'll tell you, Mike Tomlin, the secondary coach, is going to love that.
As we await Simmons here, I want to mention some of the reserves for the Bucs in on defense. Derek Brooks did play in this game. Of course, he missed the preseason opener in Tokyo. His mother was ill, and we are glad that she is feeling better. Our best to Geraldine Clark. Our thoughts and prayers with Derek and his mom. Also, Rondé Barber, who didn't play in the preseason opener against the Jets, did get in tonight's game briefly as some of the defensive backs battling for position like Torrey Cox, Tim Wansley, John Howell, whom we talked of earlier, who backs up John Lynch, are getting plenty of action. Cleveland Pinckney helping out on the defensive line, applying some pressure for the Buccaneer defense. And Simmons coming off the field.
And he's played well. Simmons has been impressive for the Dolphins tonight.
James McKnight not able to play in this game. And also, Arande Gadsden is out of this game coming off a surgery. He should be ready for the regular season. Darius Thompson and Chris Chambers, the starting receivers for Dave Wanstadt's offense. And they drafted J.R. Tolver, who we'll get a look at a little bit later. In fact, the Bucs defense ready to go here on 1st and 10 against Rosenfeld.
You know, we saw that shot of Dave Wanstad there, and of course, we read the last couple of days where Dolphins owner Wayne Huizinga put a little added pressure on Dave by saying he expected the Dolphins to be in the Super Bowl.
Number 60 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, they're going the wrong way here. Another penalty for Wanstad. That's a lot of pressure when your owner says, I think you should be in the Super Bowl. And he's, you know, Dave's working with those one-year contract extensions.
And Dave's done a heck of a job down here. You know, his winning percentage is 64%. That's pretty darn good. But, you know, in today's age, winning isn't enough. You know, people they want you in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. The demands are high on every coach and the players in this league right now.
And the way this rivalry over the years, you know, the Dolphins were the team, the southern part of the state. Completion to J.R. Tolver, the rookie from San Diego State from Rosenfeld, down inside the 40 of the Buccaneers. Torrey Cox on the tackle afterwards. But it seems a Super Bowl as we get another look at this, you know, for the Buccaneers. They're winning more.
Yeah, big-time throw right here. You'll see the void in the double too deep is the middle of the field and the outside. You force that safety to cover a lot of ground, and you see an outstanding throw by Sage Rosenfeld right here. Pumps down the middle, frees the safety, goes up the sideline. Well done by the young quarterback. Of course, Dwight Smith getting the hit on the sideline.
And Tolver, the first Dolphin ever drafted from San Diego State with a 27-yard pickup. Here's another completion. Back to Tolver on the left side. Runs out of bounds down inside the 30 of the Bucs. And Rosenfeld's moving this offense with 1:01 to go before the first half. As I was mentioning, you can see, you know, as we get another look at the way Rosenfeld finds his man.
Good job delivering the ball in time. A couple missed tackles by the Buccaneer defenders, and Tolver heads up the field.
So a Super Bowl for the Bucs in the state of Florida. A lot of Buck fans all over in that neutral territory that used to be Dolphin fans. And, of course, behind the Packers and the Redskins, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are third, and most fans waiting for season ticket sales.
What's there, like about 200,000 people on the list?
Are you on that list, or you got connections? All right.
Connections.
Rosenfeld's up first at 10. Complete. Chris Jackson. Chris Jackson's a guy who played at Washington State when Ryan Leaf was the quarterback and played for Los Angeles in the Arena Football League, and was their most valuable player, and a guy who hopes to make this Dolphin squad, and he'll need to make catches like that if he intends to. 2nd and 2. Thrown a little bit behind the receiver and incomplete.
Yeah, well, the Bucs came with the blitz. Rosenfeld's read the blitz but threw the ball just a hair behind. You'll see the quick sight adjustment out in the flat when the blitz comes. Boy, that baby was almost picked off. Would have been 6 the other way for the Bucs.
John Howell defending there, the backup to John Lynch.
One thing Monty Kiffin teaches his secondary people, along with Mike Tomlin, when they're coming with pressure, they know the quarterback has to get rid of the ball quick. They jump those routes. That's why they get the turnovers. Rondé Barber's interception against Donovan McNabb in the NFC Championship game was an indication that they baited Donovan McNabb into that interception by faking the blitz.
Rosenfeld's for Talbot. And incomplete. He had one hand on it. Good defensive coverage from Tim Wansley down there. Wansley, as Monty Kiffin likes the way Wansley has been playing.
Yeah, and Wansley's one of those guys fighting for that third cornerback position. You know, we saw Torrey Cox make a big play. We see Wansley making a big play there. Corey Ivy, another guy in the mix. In today's game, you must have depth in secondary, and of course the Bucs are trying to develop that.
Warren Sapp said Tim Wansley pulled off the cycle. You know, they had that in baseball, but in football it was the hit, the forced fumble, the fumble, and then the fumble return for the touchdown last week against the Jets. So his defense forces another Olande Mare field goal for Miami, and with 25 seconds to go in the first half, John Gruden will get the ball back. The Bucs with a 13-6 advantage. You know, Rosenfeld moves his team down for a field goal, as did Brian Griese. Of course, Brian Griese, whose father, Hall of Famer, won Super Bowls, and was a broadcaster here. Brian, we saw Bob.
Next door to us.
Yeah, he said that he offered Brian the number 12 jersey, right, Hall of retired number, if his son wanted it. His son said, no, I don't need that kind of pressure.
Yeah, but Bob said he had to give him half the signing bonus. So
that's
why Brian didn't want the number. Yeah.
Bob Griese, a sharp businessman. Brian Griese pretty much run out of Denver, but the Dolphins are going to go with Jay Fiedler, and should he stumble, and he was injured last year, they went 2-4 when he was out. Ray Lucas did not get it done. I guess Dave Lundstedt hopes that Griese can bring some experience and carry them through should there be that situation.
Yeah, and the games that Jay Fiedler played in, the Dolphins averaged 27 points a game, so they were productive when he was a quarterback. When Ray Lucas had to replace him, they just fell off the face of the earth offensively. You need depth at the quarterback position. Brian Griese has shown in Denver that he can move a football team. He can be productive as a quarterback if he has the components around him. A good running game, wide receivers, and a solid offensive line. When you look at the Dolphins, they made the right decision in getting a solid backup for Jay Fiedler.
And Olande Mare's kickoff after the field goal over the head out of the back of the end zone. Torrey Cox, the rookie from Pitt, who was involved in the defensive series moments ago, back there to attempt the return for the Buccaneers. So Sean King, who took over after the first couple of series, will run the Bucs offense from the 20 with just 25 seconds to go here in the first half. And we will see Chris Sims, at least according to John Gruden's plan, in the second half. Chris Sims looked sharp in the opener over in Tokyo against the Jets, as did Sean King.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Chris Sims. You know, the Bucs coaching staff's been very excited about his progress through the preseason. You know, they want to see him in more game conditions and situations. So we'll see a lot of Chris Sims in the second half.
Aaron Stecker with the carry, a terrific balance so far. That's what John Gruden likes, and they're going to run the clock down, and our halftime score will be 13-6. Aaron Stecker getting quite a bit of activity for the Bucs. We saw Thomas Jones a little bit, Michael Pittman when Brad Johnson was in to open the game for the Buccaneers.
Well, you were hoping for a little closer game at the half. You know, the best thing happened now, we tie this baby up, going to overtime, and you know, we can be here like 12, 1 o'clock.
Oh, you do love football, don't you? You don't get enough looking at all that game tape. Well, let's check. I got a comment from the coach, Dave Reynolds, who's with Coach Gruden. Dave?
All right, Chris. Coach, you have to be pretty happy with the way the starters played that first half.
There were some good things. We just got to limit the penalties and obviously improve our kicking game. But I was very pleased with the way the offense came out, and Got 30 minutes to go.
Defense made some things happen, too.
Yeah, we got a big turnover to start the night off, and need to get a couple more.
All right, Coach, best of luck second half. All right, Chris, it might be only the second preseason game, but the Bucs are in midseason form. Back to you.
And the reserve defense doing a good job in that they have kept the Miami Dolphin offense out of the end zone. And again, we saw Ricky Williams in a brief stint with Brian Griese taking over for Jay Fiedler. Nice to have you with us. Buccaneers with a 13-6 halftime lead. In the second half, we will see Chris Sims and more of those defensive players battling for possession. Stay tuned for the halftime show with J.P. Peterson from Pro Player Stadium. Kicking and kickoffs, and we'll kick off here. Kendall Newsome is deep for Miami. Bounces to him at the 10. He's up around the 20. Brought down just over the 26-yard line. Travis Stevens, the running back, helping out on special teams. And Miami will start on offense. The Buck defensive starters, we mentioned that Rondé Barber saw his first action of the preseason. So did Derek Brooks. I want to make a correction. It's Geraldine Mitchell, his mother, who is doing well with the illness, and glad that she is doing better. It's Sage Rosenfels, who took over for Brian Griese in the second quarter and led Miami to a field goal, is back running the offense here. And Travis Minor getting a lot of work, the three-year player from Florida State, in that second quarter. Now Robert Edwards in there for the Dolphins on 1st and 10. Rosenfels to throw. And incomplete down the middle. J.R. Tolver, the intended receiver. Sam Simmons, who we saw in the second quarter, leave with a neck injury after being flipped in the air. We'll try and update his situation as the Dolphins face a 2nd and 10. And Jaws, we'll be looking at some of the players in the secondary for the Bucs. Tim Wansley, Torrey Cox, who got a lot of action. John Howell, Jermaine Phillips is
Corey Ivy
is another one.
Playing right corner right now.
And Jermaine Phillips, number 23, a teammate at Georgia of Tim Wansley. So teammates here with the Bucs, they hope. And that's Robert Edwards on the carry, a guy who came in out of Georgia with the New England Patriots, had the knee blown out on the beach in Hawaii, and some thought he'd never play again.
Well, he almost died on the beach in Hawaii from complications from the damage that he had to the knee. Most people thought he would never play again. He came back and made a contribution to the Dolphins a year ago. We'll actually fumble that football there. But here's a guy who will probably be a little bit healthier this year and make a bigger contribution. But the coaching staff of the Dolphins is very pleased with his performance last year and so far this year in training camp.
3rd down and 7 for Dave Wannstedt's team. Of course, it'll be Ricky Williams, who had over 1,800 yards, led the NFL in rushing when it really counts, but he's getting a look at some of his other backs like Travis Minor and Robert Edwards.
And Edwards will be that short yardage goal line type of guy.
Incomplete on the left side. Margin hooks the intended receiver. It'll be 4th and 7.
And Ellis Wims had great pressure on Sage Rosenfels and caused the errant throw. Rosenfels had to deliver the ball a little bit early and allowed the Buck defense to collapse, knock the ball down.
Ellis Wims, a 3-year player out of Mississippi State, and Torrey Cox helping to defend there as Jacquez Green back with the Bucs, the receiver who was with the Redskins for a while. Of course, Florida fans, Gator fans know him well to return the punt from Kevin Stemke,
who has punted the ball very well tonight. Except this time.
See, you jinxed him. It's going to bounce at the 30 and roll. And Jacquez picks it up around the 15 and goes down right around the 16. Jacquez Green also battling at the receiver spot, trying to make this squad. The punt was 55 yards, so he could help on the return game, and speed is a reason he's here.
No question, and the one element of the game that the Bucs are looking for is that vertical game. And the hope was that Jacquez Green would come in and give you the speed downfield. Time will tell if he can bring it.
Guys, during the Dodge Summer Sales Drive, you can get the sporty neon SXT. Sporty! Or the hot-looking Stratus SXT. Smokin'!
And now grab up to $3,000 cash allowance or 0% financing for up to 60 months, making a Dodge SXT with sporty wheels and kickin' CD sound an even bigger value.
And they're backed by our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Let us prove we've got the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer today.
Wachovia, we learn from the world around us, and we understand that some things in life should be free. That's why our free checking account actually comes with no strings attached. Wachovia.
During Chrysler's summer sales drive, the PT Cruiser is more versatile than ever. Introducing the Tampa Bay Tailgate Tip, available at no additional charge with the purchase of a one-of-a-kind Chrysler PT Cruiser. After all, you'll need a place to entertain the cheerleaders. Chrysler, the official vehicle of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the coolest way to tailgate this season. Go to your local Chrysler Jeep dealer today and register to win tickets to the Bucs home opener and access to Chrysler's ultimate tailgate party before the game.
And Chris Sims will start the second half for the Buccaneers on offense. 13-6 Buccaneer lead. And let's check Ron's reasons, the Jaws scouting report.
Yeah, when you watch Chris throw the football, he's very smooth, very sound mechanically. Has a tendency to be a little bit scattershot, but that accuracy will improve with experience.
I want to ask you why he lasted until the third round, because the Bucs, you hear this a lot, but they really are happy that he did.
No, they're not happy. They are absolutely thrilled.
Thomas Jones gets the carry over the right side, gets out around the 25-yard line. Good pickup.
And Chris, we spent some time with John Gruden yesterday talking about the Chris Sims situation. Why was he still available at the 97th pick? And John himself, and I almost felt the same way, we had no rhyme or reason why he fell to the third round of the draft. I had him going late in the first round. I had him the third best quarterback coming out of this draft behind Carson Palmer and Kyle Bowler. It just amazes me. Sometimes a guy gets a blemish for some reason or other and his draft stock falls. But you know what? Don't look back unless you intend to go that way. Look to the future. He's in a good situation here in Tampa Bay. He'll get outstanding coaching with an outstanding offensive team.
Thomas Jones, the carry for the Bucs. Rich McKay said the third round. He told me, hey, we're thinking about drafting a special teams player. All of a sudden, he's there. And Brad Johnson has said he's the best rookie quarterback that he's been around.
You got a blue chipper at the 97th pick. How can you argue that?
And a guy who can take his time, as you said, in this situation. By the way, Chris Sims told me, where's number 2? Because Deion Sanders wore that number in college at Florida State, and Derek Jeter wears that with the Yankees, and those are two athletes that he enjoys watching. On third and short, they're going to throw the ball. Sims to Will Heller, the tight end out of Georgia Tech, and the Bucs get the first down. An interesting call.
Yeah, you come out the misdirection. You get the fast, slow Dolphin defense away with the play-action fake. Chris is allowed to come out to his left. He's left-handed, so it's an easy throw for him. If the receiver's covered, he'll take it and run for the first down. Good play called. Very simple, yet very well executed. You'll see the misdirection right here.
All right.
Now Chris comes out. We even fooled our cameraman. He's following Thomas Jones.
Well, this time
that's really good play action.
Yeah.
You'll see Chris come out here with the fake, moves out to his left. Nice simple throw. Move the chains.
On first down, Bucs run the ball, and again it's Thomas Jones, like Aaron Stecker, got a lot of work in the second quarter, and this was what John Gruden wanted to do. Thomas Jones will get a lot of work here. Fourth year out of Virginia. Wanted to go back with Chris Sims, because he was telling me that, at the professional level, he said the defensive linemen, not only are they quicker, Jaws, he said, but there's, in college there might be one guy who's really good or two. He said everybody's good on the field in this game, and they're all fast, and you can't, it just happens in front of you very fast, and you have to adjust.
Well, I always use the term processing information quickly. That's the most important thing a quarterback must do at this level. You don't have time to stand there in the pocket and look for things to happen. You've got to make things happen quickly. And here you see the athletic ability of Chris Sims. Slips, falls, gets up, looks downfield, no one open, and runs for a first down. Exactly the way John Gruden had designed that play in the meetings this week.
Yeah, just as you said, though, moving the chains and getting the first down. And this, of course, the Marlins play baseball here, and they'll convert it after the game, and he slips on that infield area.
Had the wherewithal to regather, look downfield, maintained his poise.
And gets the first down.
And gets out of bounds.
Doesn't want to get hit. Don't take those. Yeah, that's an old Jaworski play.
You're darn right.
And we have a timeout. The Bucs have called for it. So maybe Chris Sims processing some information from Coach Gruden that he wanted to clarify. 13-6, Bucs leading. Chris Sims, the rookie from Texas, leading the Bucs. They're on the move. We'll be back here in a moment.
During Chrysler's summer sales drive, the PT Cruiser is more versatile than ever. Introducing the Tampa Bay Tailgate Tip, available at no additional charge with the purchase of a one-of-a-kind Chrysler PT Cruiser. After all, you'll need a place to entertain the cheerleaders. Chrysler, the official vehicle of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the coolest way to tailgate this season. Go to your local Chrysler Jeep dealer today and register to win tickets to the Bucs home opener and access to Chrysler's ultimate tailgate party before the game.
It's time to get suited up for another exciting season of Buccaneers football. Looking for all the latest authentic team gear? Visit the official Buccaneers team store at Buccaneers.com. For all the new sideline hats and coaches shirts to authentic team jerseys, Buccaneers.com is your one-stop shop for all your favorite Buccaneers merchandise. Show your Buccaneers pride by sporting the red and pewter. Get your Buccaneers gear now at the official Buccaneers team store by logging on to Buccaneers.com.
Drive Infiniti FX, the SUV with the heart of a sports car. The Infiniti FX.
Welcome back, third quarter. It's preseason football here. You know, Dave Lundstedt, John Gruden, there is a chance that the Bucs and Dolphins could meet in the Super Bowl if you were to project way down the line.
Yeah, I mean, you look back to last year when the Dolphins were playing well down the stretch. A lot of people were talking about an all-Florida Super Bowl. They obviously faded. The the Bucs kept it going, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
A shift with three receivers on the left side, one in motion as Chris Sims after the Buck timeout on first down is going to throw. Looks one way, the other, and gets rid of it.
You know, I said that with Chris Sims there. John would probably scale things back. He went to a three-wide bunch to the left, moved the receiver across the left side, motioned back to the right side, shifted once again, really simplified it for him.
Hey, look, throw the guy in there.
Boy, he threw him the playbook, say, get out there and execute. You know, that's John.
And John Gruden, who, by the way, John Gruden will turn 40 a week from Sunday. We wish him a happy birthday early, as he'll be happy if his team keeps moving the ball like they have on 2nd and 10. Sims in that dirt area, moving, and throwing incomplete for Darian Barnes, the fullback. I said to John Gruden, I said, hey, you think there might be a surprise birthday party for your 40th? He said, not that I know, but there's a lot of sick people around here that might try something. Yeah.
He's going to lock all the doors over at One Buck Place around his birth date.
Remember when we asked him the furthest he got away from football in the offseason, you know, just to get a break, brought up David Letterman. Fred said, hey, it was nice,
Loved it.
nice to meet that guy.
Yeah.
And
a couple theme park visits.
And hung out with the family and the kids, but the guy loves football, all right? And he's not afraid to admit it, and it shows. Sims to throw on 3rd and 10.
Outstanding patience and poise in the pocket by Chris Sims. Look downfield to get the go post combination, waiting for the crossing route to come open. It was incomplete. It was dropped by Lee.
Yeah, see, and that's important, Jaws. Charles Lee had a pretty good game in Tokyo, but had a couple of catches that Coach Gruden thought he should have made.
Yeah, this was delivered right on the belt buckle. Charles Lee must catch this pass. You'll see the route, gets off the jam, does a nice job, pushes upfield, gets the separation. Chris Sims delivers the ball right on the money. Got to make that catch.
4th year for Central Florida, and he's in a receiver battle, so every catch an important one for Charles Lee. As Andy Groom, the rookie from Ohio State, has come on to punt, but it looks like we have the red flag up.
There you go. There we go. Yeah, I actually thought it was a catch, and the ball was tomahawked out of Charles Lee's hands. So John is going to test the replay system.
Challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
Now we're getting serious here. You know, we got a 1-score difference in the game.
Well, you know, at the
John wants a little separation.
And to Charles Lee, it's important if they ruled out a catch. I mean, you know, as Coach Gruden said, they chart, you know, even in practice, Jaws, in games, every ball that's thrown to somebody, hang time on a punt, and that all is processed information that coaches use to make decisions. And the receiver battle, of course, you have the top 3, Keyshawn Johnson, Keenan McCardell, and Joe Juravicius. And after that, you've got 2 or 3 spots, and you got a lot of guys battling for him. Charles Lee, Carl Williams, Reggie Barlow, Jaquez Green, Fabian Davis, whom we haven't seen tonight, but he played well in Tokyo, and Sam Collins is another one.
Yeah, we'll take a look at this once again as Chris Sims sets up in the pocket and does a real nice job. You'll see the focal point downfield, good balance in the throw. He pumps a deep throw, it wasn't there. He comes back again. I love to, just maintain your position in the pocket, not try to run around. Delivers the ball right on the money, right in the belt buckle. 1, 2, he's down. Knee was down.
And he had a catch in the end zone. Of course, they didn't have replay over in Tokyo when the Bucs beat the Jets, and it looked. I thought he had a touchdown there, and this looks like a catch here.
Yeah, let's look at it from behind Chris Sims. Again, watch Chris in the pocket. There's the pump, regains it. This is outstanding. Balance, bounce, delivers the ball accurately on the money. There you go. Down. Oh, the knee was definitely down. That is a completed pass. First down, Tampa Bay.
All right, but
this will show he's got the football right here.
The officials, the knee touches the ground there. The officials are not seeing this same replay.
Well, what are they looking at?
They're looking at the replay of the Dolphin broadcast. This is the Buccaneer broadcast.
Well, then they ought to get with it. Our guys get all the shots.
It's our guy.
Knee down right there. Look at that. Knee down, folks. First down.
What a play. The receiver never had clear possession.
You got to be kidding me.
Incomplete pass.
We saw Warren Sapp's reaction in the split screen.
That's ridiculous.
Well,
I don't know what more I could say. He had the ball. He caught it in two hands, was tucking away with one hand, knee at the ground, the ball comes out. All right, let's take a look. Does he have the football? Catch. Boom, he's got it. Got the football. In his right hand, tucked away.
Either way, the official, we'll mail him the videotape from the Buccaneers' point of view. The punt by Andy Groom, the rookie from Ohio State, fielded by Kendall Newsom.
Can I get fined?
I don't know.
Can I get fined?
Well, that's the commissioner.
Yeah.
All right, well, after all that, the Dolphins have the football. They're still trailing the Bucs, 13-6.
Presenting the 245 horsepower all-wheel drive Nissan Murano, an SUV for the wilds of civilized society.
Things are revving up at your Southern Ford dealers. Right now, get $3,500 cash back on a 2003 Taurus. Want to shift into a truck? Get $4,000 cash back on a 2003 Ranger. Or better yet, get 0% APR for 5 years plus $1,000 bonus cash on either. Only one event produces such high-octane offers. The Southern Ford dealers authorized clearance. And if you want to save big on the 03s before the 04s arrive, get it in gear at your local Southern Ford dealer now. Because once it's over, there's no going back.
Terribly sorry, we seem to have overbooked. We do have one room left that I can give you for the same rate, but it's on a different floor. It's fine. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. You never know when an opportunity will turn out golden. Like at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. You'll find incredible values on all your favorite Lexus vehicles.
Thank you again for being so understanding.
And an ice chicken?
See your local Lexus dealer today.
Pick up a copy of the Tampa Tribune tomorrow morning for fanatical Buccaneers coverage. Get player news, features, a wrap-up of this game and the season ahead. The Tampa Tribune, the official newspaper of the Tampa Bay Bucs and their fans. With Ron Jaworski, Chris Myers, nice to have you with us at Pro Player Stadium as 10:06 to go here in the third quarter. It's a 13-6 Buccaneer lead. Chris Sims, reason to hang around. Let's check down on the sidelines where JP is standing by.
All right, we're about to get Brian Kelly over here. He's going to come over here in just a second. And here he comes. Back upstairs for this play.
All right, Dolphins with the ball. Rosenfels hands off to Robert Edwards on 1st and 10. All right, JP, let's check in with you and Brian.
All right, now we got Brian Kelly. And Brian, first of all, tell us about the fumble play. I think you got the cause fumble there?
I think so. I got to watch film. Me and Derek were talking about it, but I think I got a hand in there.
You have some turf toe, a little questionable tonight, but you were out there playing. Tell us how's your injury?
It feels good. I mean, turf toe is a tricky injury. You know, if you let it go, it can slip and nag you all season. So we're just trying to stay on top of it and make sure I'm ready to go for September 8th.
Brian, talk about the dominating performance tonight for your defense. First possession for the Dolphins, you get the turnover. Second possession, negative yards. That's pretty much a shutout for you.
We wanted to set a show out here. It's the first time we get all 11 on the field. Missed Derek last week, so it's the first time we're all together as a unit. It felt good to go out there and dominate.
Coach Gruden challenged you guys mentally to not have any hangover from the Tokyo trip, and it looks like you're pretty sharp.
Yeah, we were sharp. I mean, you know, we strive off stuff like that, low adversity, and come out, just been on a whole nother side of the world, come back over here in a couple days and play down in Miami. So, you know, we're able to respond to that.
And you guys didn't score off the turnover, so is that a demerit for you, for the defense?
Yeah, we're used to scoring on those, but we got after Dwight a little bit on that one. But, you know, it's okay. Good the offense put it in.
All right, Brian, thanks so much. Good luck this year. Brian Kelly, back upstairs.
Brian Kelly, who led the Buccaneers in interceptions with 8. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dolphin offense at their own 29-yard line. And the give is to Robert Edwards again from Rosenfels. He gets up across the 30. And on the previous play, despite the penalty, the rookie Dwayne White applied some nice pressure. And John Howell on the other end defensively. Ryan Neese coming up with Altroy Bodrick to make the tackle.
And Ryan Neese is one of the linebackers that John Gruden felt was having a terrific training camp and played well last week in Tokyo, and is looking for him to challenge. Nate Webster on the field now. And John made it clear that the 3 best linebackers would play, no matter if they were an inside linebacker, an outside linebacker, who was going to get the 3 best players on the field.
So Dwayne Rudd could end up not starting, depending upon what happens in the preseason. Caught and dropped on the pass from Rosenfels. Wanted to mention Ryan Neese, of course, Cedric Irvin, who had been having a good training camp, former Michigan State player for the Dolphins, and not hanging on to the pass. Ryan Neese, the son of Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott, and of course chose his mother's name. Didn't know his dad a lot growing up, but having gone to UCLA, and of course Ronnie Lott, a USC guy.
Do they talk to him?
Yes, they not during those weeks, of course. The Pac-10 rivalry, crosstown rivalry there. But he's a guy who certainly, with Nate Webster, having been in the training camp this week at the Disney complex in Orlando, Jaws, they were very impressive.
No question. They both have the speed, the quickness. Oh, look out.
And that's some of the speed you just talked about.
There. It's nice when no one blocks you as well.
Yeah, that helps.
I mean, Neese just had a clear shot at Rosenfeld. It had to be a blown protection on the part of the Dolphins. But boy, as a linebacker, he's probably salivating when he saw that happen. But Neese showed his explosiveness just coming off the corner. Rosenfeld's never had a chance. And this is what this defense is built upon. Speed, quickness, lean, attack, sacks, fumbles. I mean, you know, Monty's over there loving that.
Yeah, he said there's another guy can throw into the mix.
That's right. Yeah.
And so it forced to punt. Miami on 4th and 19. That's Kevin Stepke and Tim Wansley over the 40 to the 45-yard line. And knocked down just short of that. Ryan Neese, also a guy who does a lot in the community in and around the Tampa Bay area, has worked hard along with Nate Webster to give the Bucs some depth at linebacker. Dave Wannstedt, his team trailing 13-6.
During Chrysler's summer sales drive, the PT Cruiser is more versatile than ever. Introducing the Tampa Bay Tailgate Tent, available at no additional charge with the purchase of a one-of-a-kind Chrysler PT Cruiser. After all, you'll need a place to entertain the cheerleaders. Chrysler, the official vehicle of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the coolest way to tailgate this season. Go to your local Chrysler Jeep dealer today and register to win tickets to the Bucs home opener and access to Chrysler's ultimate tailgate party before the game.
Pizza Hut is changing the game forever with a great tasting large cheese pizza for only $7.99.
Wow.
It's the new homestyle pizza from Pizza Hut. A large cheese pizza is just $7.99 all the time.
That's a great deal.
Everybody's gonna love this pizza.
There's no other crust like this.
It's not too thick, it's not too thin.
It's just right. It really does taste homemade.
It's so good, they'll eat every last bite. And at $7.99 every day for a large cheese homestyle pizza, that's real value.
You gotta try it.
The new homestyle pizza from Pizza Hut. Gather around the good stuff.
Kennedy! Where's Kennedy?
Here.
You sold my wife a Caravan yesterday.
It is the summer sales drive.
With low financing and the warranty?
Yeah.
Can I get the same on a Hemi Ram?
Now get 0% financing for 60 months or a $2,500 cash allowance on our best products like Dodge Ram 1500. Plus get our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
Let us prove we got the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer today.
And welcome back. Our overhead shots courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp, Stars and Stripes. Goodyear would like to remind you to take all of life's journeys on the wings of Goodyear. At Pro Player Stadium, Bucks with the football on a 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. Chris Sims in his second series. He started the third quarter. And we saw for the Buccaneers, Thomas Jones getting most of the running work in that previous series. And that's who gets the carry again over the right side. Got a little room. Run down around midfield.
You can see the explosiveness in Thomas Smith, but when he gets through that original tackler, you'd like to see him explode. You know, that's when the big plays come. Boy, make that first guy miss and wham. And when you look at at Thomas Jones, I mean, he's a speedy guy and he can be explosive, but he must be patient to the hole. In his days at Arizona, too many times I saw him run up the backs of his offensive line and be patient to the hole and explode through the hole.
It was Virginia's all-time leading rusher and met hard at midfield by Corey Jenkins, who brings him down. And I guess the Bucs have to figure, look, it worked with Michael Pittman, getting a guy who was not successful with the Arizona Cardinals, and we bring him here. And what did John Gruden tell us? It's in the eye of the beholder. If he fits in here and does the right kinds of things, I don't care about his past.
Yeah, exactly. You know, John threw in guys like Greg Spires, who was with New England, then gets cut by Cleveland. He comes here, and the guy, to me, was one of the most valuable players in the Super Bowl. Spires had a tremendous game. So John can take these guys, and they fit the mold of the player the Buccaneers want to have on their roster.
Chris Sims on third down. Hurries the throw and has a completion right around the 45-yard line.
Well, Chris did a terrific job. Gets the completion, gets the first down, and got hammered on the sideline. When you look at Maurice Anderson, defensive tackle, leveled Chris in the sideline, but he got the ball down the field for the first down.
Sims completing to Will Heller, the tight end from Virginia Tech.
Yeah, you'll see Chris right here. Gets rid of the football. Get ready. You're going to take the hit, and he goes down. But great awareness, moves the chains.
The coaching staff talked about Heller and said, look, the guy hasn't made any mental mistakes, and he's in a battle at tight end with Daniel Wilcox for maybe that fourth spot or third spot with Todd Yoder behind Dilger and Dudley. And this a little bit of a reverse here. Jacquez Green on the left side, down inside the 30, down to the 20.
Well, they ran a play without running the reverse earlier in the first half that set that play up. I thought they would run that similar play on, of course, Junior Seau. Junior loves to get involved and get nosy and run around him. But you can see this is well executed. It's part of the Bucs repertoire. You run that dive play, and all of a sudden, whoop, here comes the receiver around Jacquez Green, the speedy Jacquez Green in the open field. That's what you want him with the football in space.
A big play. 25-yard pickup.
And here's Jacquez Green. Speedy, a little bit inconsistent. He has that good burst, but one thing, he must get consistent. John Gruden will not tolerate an uneven player.
The veteran Terry Kirby gets the ball from Sims and gets inside the 20 on first down for the Buccaneers. Corey Jenkins, who's been active out of South Carolina, the rookie for Miami, on the stop. And again, Michael Pittman has a preliminary hearing first week in September for aggravated assault and a violation of probation, which could create a problem. And so the Bucs, Rich McKay, John Gruden, right now, they're not sure, as we touched on in the first half. That's the reason for the acquisition of Thomas Jones. By the way, I asked Rich McKay about a rumor about Jamal Anderson. I had heard about the Bucs. He said Jamal's starting those. We have a fumble on the snap from Chris Sims coming back from the football. Let's see who came away with it.
Yeah, you be down there in the bottom of that pile.
Fighting
your guess is as good as mine right now.
Fighting for a job and fighting for the ball. And according to the official, the Bucs retain possession.
That's the strongest man wins. Yeah, let's see if we can see.
All right,
Chris.
so on this, is it the center or is it the quarterback?
Well, it looked like Chris separated hands just a little bit. He's got to keep those palms together. Pulled out just a hair early. And again, these are things that must be worked out. The center quarterback exchange must be automatic. It wasn't on that situation. Sometimes a quarterback is getting out of there a little quick because that center is sinking his butt, as we say, and it'll push his hands out a little bit. So it's something that's correctable.
Always got to be careful with a sinking butt.
That's correct.
All right, that was a rookie combination. Austin King snapping to Chris Sims. And here goes Sims to throw on third down. He's got a man inside the 5-yard line. It is complete. And a first down. Reggie Barlow with the catch.
Yeah, well-timed. Location of the pass was outstanding. Barlow comes back, catches the ball, falls down, gets the first down. Chris Sims with a good delivery of the football on time. Critical, the ball gets out of his hand on time. Talked about that processing of information. You see Chris 3 for 6, 21 yards. So far he's been very efficient. Has moved out of the pocket, took some running opportunities, and moved this Buck offense.
First and goal from the 4. Thomas Jones scored on a quick one in Tokyo. He gets the ball here, a little spin move. Can't quite get in there within a yard or two of the goal line.
But again, he showed Chris the patience. You know, the hole was supposed to be the outside. He pressed the hole, was a little bit patient, saw that little cutback with good vision. You'll see the move right back into there. Pressed the hole, whoop, right there, the cutback. Almost bounced it in the end zone, but good job with the vision there. But I also like the way he wrapped the ball up with two hands. Getting these goal line situations, the defender's going to tomahawk the ball out of your hands. Attempt to.
Darian Barnes in the backfield with him. He had a nice block that time. Second and goal. And the give again is to Jones, and he's in. It's a touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, very similar play to Michael Pittman's touchdown. A little misdirection away from the fullback. Fast flow linebackers react to that fullback's block. Bounce to the outside. Thomas Jones, easy touchdown.
And so he's 2 for 2. It looked like Todd Yoder helped him out on the block here, the tight end.
Once again, good vision by Jones. Take a look. Chris Sims, a little close up of Chris, looking good. Nice move to the outside right there.
And they'll kick the extra point. You know, the Bucs have to be happy. Chris Sims, when he's been in there, and Thomas Jones, they produce points. And here's Kleinman with the extra point. This time, the hold, the snap, everything works the way it should. And the Bucs with a 20-6 advantage. And Thomas Jones, maybe a roster spot. He's sealing the deal. He might be pushing for a starting job as the preseason pushes forward. Bucs leading with 3 minutes to go in the third.
During Chrysler's summer sales drive, the PT Cruiser is more versatile than ever. Introducing the Tampa Bay Tailgate Tent, available at no additional charge with the purchase of a one-of-a-kind Chrysler PT Cruiser. After all, you'll need a place to entertain the cheerleaders. Chrysler, the official vehicle of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the coolest way to tailgate this season. Go to your local Chrysler Jeep dealer today and register to win tickets to the Bucs home opener and access to Chrysler's ultimate tailgate party before the game.
Don't miss out on your last chance to buy Buccaneers single game tickets when they go on sale through Ticketmaster at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. With a very limited number of tickets available and more than 80,000 people on the waiting list, this is your only opportunity to get single game tickets to Buccaneers home games this season. Tickets will go on sale at 10 a.m. Saturday morning in person at Ticketmaster outlets throughout West Central Florida, online at Ticketmaster.com, and through Ticketmaster charge by phone. For more information, call Ticketmaster or log on to Buccaneers.com.
So we can get the low financing.
Or the cash allowance.
And the 770 warranty.
Yep.
We should do it.
Yeah. Now grab our best deals, like 0% financing for 60 months, or cash allowances of up to $3,500 on Dodge Caravan, America's best-selling minivan. Plus, get our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
Sweet. The remote control always gets them.
Let us prove we got the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer today.
Buccaneers with a 20-6 advantage and getting ready to kick off in the third quarter. So all three of their quarterbacks tonight have led them to touchdowns. Brad Johnson, a couple of series, Sean King, and then Chris Sims comes in and marches him downfield for Thomas Jones.
Yeah, when you look at Chris Sims in the few series he's played, he showed a lot of poise. I'm amazed that John's been showing the diversity of offensive design. 9 plays, 56 yards on that drive. But, you know, John's that kind of guy. He's going to throw the playbook at a quarterback and say, hey, this is your job. This is your profession. Learn it. If you want to play in this league, you got to grow up real fast. That's John's philosophy.
Kendall Newsom on the return. He's got a little room over the right side up to the 40-yard line. He was stalled around the 25-30 and then broke free. So the Dolphin offense will have good field position, trailing by 14 points in this game. Sage Rosenfels, after Brian Griese started for Jay Fiedler, will run the offense. And some of the defensive players who have been coming in for the Bucs and playing well. We talked about Ryan Neese and Nate Webster, also from the University of Miami, 4-year player, one of only 2 Hurricanes that are on the Buccaneer roster. Of course, a guy named Warren Sapp, the other.
We didn't talk much about Warren tonight.
I guess we don't.
Well, there'll be a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
We know.
We don't. I guess we don't have to. Ward does enough talking for everybody. Leonard Henry is in at running back for Miami. Rosenfeld's on a fake. He's going to flip it. Intended for his tight end.
Great job by Nate Webster. That's a misdirection play. You come out in a naked bootleg, and Webster just didn't buy it. He stayed at home and forced Rosenfeld's an errant throw. Just a real good job of showing the discipline of this defense. And we talked earlier, Dwayne Rudd, that's what he's got to learn. You must play your position. Don't try to play anyone else's. This is a system where you must spot drop, get to your drop, get to your responsibility. It's a team-oriented scheme. Obviously, Nate Webster did a great job right there.
So it's 2nd and 10 for Rosenfels. Miami from its own 40. Throwing to the left side, and he's got Donald Lee, whom the last pass play was intended for. Let's check in on the field with J.P. Peterson.
Thanks, Chris. Aaron Stecker's with me. 6 carries, 27 yards, 38 yards receiving. We talked earlier this week you might get some playing time, and you did. You happy with your performance?
Yeah, there's always room for improvement. I'm never satisfied on what I did, but I know that I can improve, I can get better. I think there's a couple runs that, when I look at hindsight, I probably could have got more yards, but I just wanted to go out there and show that I'm capable of doing some things, and I showed a little spark here and there, but it's a long preseason. I got a long way to go, to continue to just keep working hard.
You got a great opportunity in this preseason. Do you feel like you're making your case for the starter's position if it becomes available?
I'm just out here working, and every day I'm out here, I'm just trying to write a name for myself for my resume. Coach is always saying when you come out on the field, you got their name on your jersey. You're out here, you're signing your name on the field. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going out there showing what I'm capable of doing. Last year, it was a little glimpse of what I could do. Like I said, it's a long preseason. And I'm just going to play my game, just be relaxed, and whatever happens, happens.
Got a chance to return punts tonight. How'd you feel?
The first one, it's kind of different. I haven't returned punts in a long time. When I was in Wisconsin, and that was back in '96, so it's been a long time since I've been out there. But the first one I caught, I was happy about that, and the second one kind of floated on me. But I picked up the ball and made positive yards, so that's a plus. But I'll do whatever it takes to get on the field, and there's always room for improvement on any spot of the ball.
All right, Aaron, nice job tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Aaron Stecker in the battle for the running back position. Certainly a nice effort from him tonight, guys.
Thanks, JP. And as we get a look at Aaron Stecker, Nate Webster in on the sack of Sage Rosenfels after they had a 1st and 10. So it's a loss of 7. Dolphins at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and you notice Nate Webster starting to make plays from the outside. Nate has played the middle linebacker position, now moving to the outside. Playmaker, one of the game's premier playmakers, Derek Brooks, plays in space out there and makes a lot of plays. You're starting to see the impact of a Nate Webster playing that same position.
As the 3rd quarter winds down, Rosenfels throwing, completing. That's Obafemi Ayabadejo from San Diego State. The fullback, the backup to Rob Conrad. So it'll be 3rd down for Miami.
Wise decision there by Rosenfels. You got yourself a 3rd and 15 or 2nd and 15, 16. Try to get a half foot back, set up a makeable situation, a manageable situation at 3rd and 6.
Clock running. 10 seconds and counting to the end of the quarter.
And the blitz is coming.
Snap just in time. He gets rid of it in a hurry, and it's incomplete.
Once again, the Bucs do such a great job of anticipating when the ball will come out against the blitz. They knew the blitz was on. You see the corner just sit on the route. At that time, it was Torrey Cox. If it would have been a better throw, he may have picked it off and took it all the way. Monty loves that. He knows when the pressure's coming. His defensive backs are going to have a chance to make a play. Look at that pressure. 4 sacks, 12 hurries. Man, that is getting the heat on the quarterback right there. A turnover, and oh yeah, 4 punts.
And much of that, again, with the reserve defenders. Here to punt, Kevin Stempke. And Reggie Barlow back to return for the Bucs. Fair catch signal given around the 12-yard line, and that's where he brings it in. End of the 3rd quarter. Bucs and Chris Sims will run it on offense. Let's see who will be carrying the ball for the Buccaneers. It's 20-6. Tampa Bay will be back here at Pro Player Stadium in a moment.
Coming up, it's the worst flooding this area has ever seen.
water almost covering cars. The entire Bay Area is under a flood watch, and there are some real worries for the weekend. Meteorologist Steve Jervey is tracking the storms. And he won one of the largest jackpots in history. Turns out he was also the victim of a devious plot to steal it. Plus, watching the game, want more? Wait until you see what News Channel 8 crews dug up from the sidelines. Tonight in the 11 o'clock newscast.
Guys, during the Dodge Summer Sales Drive, you can get the sporty neon SXT. Sporty! Or the hot-looking Stratus SXT. Smoking!
And now grab up to $3,000 cash allowance or 0% financing for up to 60 months, making a Dodge SXT with sporty wheels and kickin' CD sound an even bigger value.
And they're backed by our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
Let us prove we've got the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer today.
Okay, you're all hooked up.
When you get just a basic high-speed connection in your house, something happens. It's always open. Really open. Open to all sorts of things you just don't want getting in. But add AOL for broadband, which works with and enhances any high-speed connection and help protect your home from viruses, hackers, spammers, and anything else you don't want getting in. Call now to add AOL to your high-speed connection.
Bucs lead the Dolphins 20-6 as we start the fourth quarter, and individual game tickets for the Buccaneers go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. A limited amount of tickets available online at Ticketmaster.com and at all Central Florida Ticketmaster locations. So don't miss your chance to see the Bucs live at Raymond James Stadium this upcoming season. That place rocks, always sold out, always a happening.
Individual game tickets go on sale.
And, of course, in the preseason, we'll be bringing you the Jags and the Houston Texans as they take on the Bucs at Raymond James. 1st and 10. Chris Sims gives to Thomas Jones.
I believe it's going to be Thomas Jones time. Work that clock, milk it down, move the chains.
Michael Pittman to start for the Bucs in the first half, and of course it's been Thomas Jones since. We're going to get Coach Gruden's comments on the running back situation in just a moment as the Bucs have a 2nd and 7. And here comes Jones again out across the 20-yard line. We asked him about his running back situation and the uncertainty. Here's what Coach Gruden told us. Well, he told us that he's telling us now. He told us pretty much, to paraphrase Jaws, that because of the uncertainty, look, Pittman's his guy if everything is okay, and if not, then he's got to be prepared with Stecker and Thomas Jones, and that's why he wants to get a closer look at these guys.
You have to have depth. No matter what happens, you're going to need guys that could fill in at certain times during the season.
And if we, we'll throw out the numbers, but from what you've seen so far, it seems like both of them, when Sims is throwing here to Barlow across the 30, loses the football, and the Dolphins have it at the 40, lost again, and it looked like Miami got it back. We'll get the official call, and the ref says yes. The official says the Dolphins have it. But it looks like it's been a pretty, both Jones and Stecker have done what's been asked of them.
No question about it. And Michael Pittman played very well early in the football game. So the running backs have risen to the occasion. There's Michael Pittman on the sideline. Chris, your arms are about as big as his, aren't they?
Yeah, that's after I work out a little bit. I remember watching you in the preseason games last year. You said for the Bucs, watch this guy, and it took him all the way. The best game was the Super Bowl, but that's what it mattered most. And of course, John Gruden, who led the NFL in rushing when he was with the Raiders, that's what he really is about, running the football with his defense. Jaws, right? You can control a game if you have the right kind of running game.
No question about it. And then you've got to get those explosive plays or chunks of yards, as we like to say, out of the passing game. And John will throw the ball down the field. He'll go maximum protection, give Johnson some time, give Keyshawn Johnson some time to work down the field, give Keenan McCardell time. So John has a system in place, but he does like to possess the football and control the clock.
And Leonard Henry running it for Miami. You know that Coach Gruden is not happy about the Barlow fumble, and it's certainly a preseason or not. You know, those things count against a guy who is trying to earn a position, as we talked about with Charles Lee, as the Bucs have a battle at receiver. And in the secondary, some of the defensive players we've seen tonight, the reserves like John Howell come in. Jermaine Phillips, number 23, second-year player from Georgia, as we mentioned, teammate of Tim Wansley, who has also played well. And this could give Rosenfels a chance on 2nd and 3 to get the Dolphins back into this game. Trailing by 14. Throws it to the left side.
You know, Chris, the other thing you have to remember, you know, we're talking about the world champions here, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All the other teams in this league, all 31 of them will be looking at this tape. They know that the Bucs are good. They know that the Bucs are deep. They're going to be looking at cut-down date. Who are the Bucs releasing? A lot of guys that may not make this Buck roster will be playing somewhere else in the National Football League based on their performance in these preseason games.
Monte Kiffin's defense, really, you lose Dexter, you know, the MVP from the Super Bowl goes on to the Steelers, and of course, you know, Dwight Smith takes care of that spot for you. And then the linebacker spot, you talked about Dwayne Rudd being challenged. A completion here to Cedric Urban from Rosenfeld. So they really, I mean, they could actually be better.
They are, and I say they are better. Dwight Smith is an incredible athlete. He plays safety. He'll be the starting free safety. In nickel situations, he can go out and play corner. I don't think there's another free safety in the league that a team will move out to corner when Rondé Barber moves in the slot. Now, Rondé Barber moves in the slot because he's such a good blitzer, can attack the quarterback. So they really have versatility on the defensive side of the football.
From the 26, 2nd and 6 for Miami. Leonard Henry, the lone back, or was the lone back. Cedric Urban up at fullback, and Henry gets the carry. Henry out of East Carolina, as a senior, had a couple of 200-yard games. Ryan Neese, again, on the tackle for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, what the Bucs defense must come through now is the defensive line. That part of their defense. They're getting pushed a little bit around up front. They've got to start hitting that one-gap technique that they like to use, get penetration in the backfield. Right now, the Dolphins are establishing the line of scrimmage and moving the chains.
Jack Golden, one of the linebackers, a 4-year player from Oklahoma State who played well and had been having a good camp. Injured, did not see action tonight. So Altroy Bodrick, number 48, seeing some more action at that position. And Ryan Neese has been active along with Nate Webster with the reserves, and it looked like somebody jumped. Flags are down. Completion made.
It was Ron Warner
for the Bucs on number 95, jumping. Torrey Cox down on the field, holding his, looked like his knee. Now we'll get the officials' call.
Offside, the defensive left end. That penalty is declined. First down.
Well, the last thing you want to see in the fourth quarter of your second preseason game is one of your players down on the field, as Torrey Cox is right now, the 6th-round pick, who's been playing very well, challenging for that third corner position.
And it's already a deep position with Wansley and Corey Ivy, and his name did come up when Coach Gruden was talking about guys having good preseasons so far, and he also worked on the return game. It's a 20-6 Buccaneer lead, 10:44 to play, and we'll update Torrey Cox as soon as we can as we come back at Pro Player Stadium.
Hey guys, I'm Lindsey Bryan. If you're looking for a little spice to funk up your Tampa Bay evenings, we've got all the right moves coming for you this fall, Saturday night on the spot. Be there. Local TVs never packed such a punch. The name of the game is entertainment, Florida style. Food, booze, movies, music, gadgets, sex, sports, you name it, we'll feature it. Only on Channel 8 right after Saturday Night Live. We'll see you on the spot.
Say, Brad, you wouldn't mind house sitting for me this weekend, would you?
Sure, no problem.
Oh, take care of Mr. Jingles.
You never know when an opportunity will turn out golden. Like at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, you'll find incredible values on the highest-ranked luxury cars and initial quality.
The masseuse is ready for you, sir.
See your local Lexus dealer today.
Here we go. there now.
And welcome back. Michael Pittman, Thomas Jones have each scored a touchdown, and Sean King a touchdown pass to Joe Juravicius. A botched extra point is the 20-6 score. A couple of Olinda Mare field goals for Miami, but they're on the move. Sage Rosenfels handing off. That's Leonard Henry again, and Torrey Cox was helped off the field with it looked like some type of leg injury. We'll update that either in the as we get a look at Torrey, who'd been very active tonight.
Had a very solid game, and again, here's a guy, rookie 6th-round pick that John Gruden specifically mentioned in our production meeting yesterday, a guy that has been very impressive and was challenging for that third corner position, obviously with Tim Wansley and Corey Ivy. So those are big words for a guy that, as a rook, is getting props from the head coach. 2nd and 8 now, inside the 15. Threatening to score. Rosenfels for the end zone. Again for Donald Lee, who can get a little bit of work. Jermaine Phillips over there with the coverage. We saw a moment ago Simeon Rice on the sideline. Of course, the NFC's leading sacker. He wants to do production and film writing and talking about he's having the project coming out the next couple of months there with Sean King. Playing in the NBA and you name it. I mean, the guy can do it all. And the boost he added when he left Arizona to come to the Buccaneers and the season that he had for Coach Gruden. Again, the speed and quickness, which is the foundation of this Buccaneer defense. Simeon Rice has a lot of it. 3rd and 8. Rosenfels to Henry on the left side, down around the 7-yard line. John Howell forcing him out of bounds around the first down marker. And they're going to have a 4th down decision. Yeah, you're down by 2 scores. You got to think of punching this in. This is a design quick pass out here. Nice one of Norv Turner's kind of unique designs. He's trying to get the ball in space to one of his running backs, match against a linebacker or a safety. So 4th and 2. The ball is at the 6. Dave Wannstedt hoping his offense could punch it in. Henry, the running back. Leonard Henry out of East Carolina. Rosenfel's going to call a timeout. So the Bucs defense will get an interesting test here, as Dave Wannstedt hopes a touchdown and an extra point gets his team within 7. Bucs with a 26 fourth quarter lead.
G35, 260 horsepower, sport tuned suspension, Motor Trend 2003 Car of the Year. A dream to drive. The Infiniti G35.
It's time to get suited up for another exciting season of Buccaneers football. Looking for all the latest authentic team gear? Visit the official Buccaneers team store at Buccaneers.com. For all the new sideline hats and coaches shirts to authentic team jerseys, Buccaneers.com is your one-stop shop for all your favorite Buccaneers merchandise. Show your Buccaneers pride by sporting the red and pewter. Get your Buccaneers gear now at the official Buccaneers team store by logging on to Buccaneers.com.
It's okay. It's our summer sales drive.
There is one in red.
Cool. Get our best deals like $4,500 cash allowance or 0% financing for 60 months on Durango SXT with available 7-passenger seating and rear air. Plus, get our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
It's all here, the deal, the warranty. Oh, boy.
Let us prove we've got the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer today.
Pick up a copy of the Tampa Tribune tomorrow morning for fanatical Buccaneers coverage. Get player news, features, a wrap-up of this game, of the entire preseason and regular season ahead. The Tampa Tribune, the official newspaper of the Tampa Bay Bucs and their fans. Let's get an update on Torrey Cox's injury. Get out on the field, J.P. Peterson.
All right, guys, the update is Torrey Cox has a left knee sprain. He will not return. The rest of the defensive backs were huddled around him. They seem pretty concerned, so we're going to have to wait and see what the MRI says later this week. Back to you guys.
All right, JP, on 4th and 2, and the Buccaneers cross the line of scrimmage and flag flies. A couple of them do, as a matter of fact.
And, of course, the Bucs are saying someone from the Dolphins' O-line moved.
Buck Gurley, number 90, from the Bucs defensive line was across. It was just whether he was drawn off. And they have, Corey Smith, the Buck Gurley, those are some of the guys who talked about the depth on the defensive line.
Unabated toward the quarterback, the defensive right end.
He pointed the wrong. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
Unabated toward the quarterback. Defense.
Bernie's first preseason game. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, look, he looked like the Scarecrow, the Wizard of Oz for a moment. All right, you go this way, you go that way. But eventually, hey, it's all about getting it right at the end of the day or at the end of the night. So they're going to get the first down from the 3-yard line. So it changes things dramatically for this Dolphin offense. Dave Wanstead, as you mentioned, has won with this team, but when the owner says, hey, I think we should go to the Super Bowl, he's got a lot of
expectations and pressure begins to build.
A lot of work in the preseason to get this Dolphin offense up to speed with its defense. All right, Leonard Henry, the featured back. Rosenfeld's going to throw, and in the end zone, it's a touchdown, Miami Dolphins. Ronald Bellamy. Now we got a flag on the play. First touchdown for the Dolphin offense tonight. First touchdown of their preseason.
Well, we're showing a flag, but I don't see a flag.
I thought there might have been excessive celebration. Maybe it's excessive Miami Dolphin #1 music. Olinda Mare on to kick the extra point to bring Miami to within 7. It's up and good. So 9:09 to play in regulation. And John Gruden, all right, reserves or not, he didn't want to give up a touchdown. No. The penalty hurt. And Ronald Bellamy on the receiving end of a Sage Rosenfeld pass.